You got the echo, Sister Annie.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
It's a nice echo though.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you go right after her, New Growth.
No, I'm chilling. I begged her to come up here.
I think I've said enough, so I'm just gonna stay in the back.
Yeah, man, you said enough.
Yeah.
What happened? She left. Oh, she'll be back. Maybe she had
Shit, I'm just rocking out with you, bro, Clarence, man. You've been putting in major time. You feel me? You going hard, so I'm just out here rocking out with you, bro.
But hey, look at the brother above you, bro. Bob Bryant is the one that said, "Hey, brother, let's do this, man. Let's go in. Let's get it. Let's get these backpacks.
Hey, I could dig it, man. We up here with you.
I appreciate you, Big Riggs. I appreciate you, brother. Be easy. I appreciate you, New Growth. I appreciate all of y'all, brothers, man. Yeah, I ain't got nothing but love, man. I ain't got nothing but love for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? So
the 5 heartbeats.
Don't you ever, because I'm old school. You too, Vaughn. Yeah, I'm old school. Yeah, I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
That's right. That's it.
Is it still an echo?
No, you good now, Sister Annie.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, snap. We got
What's going on, sis? Glad to finally have you take your maiden voyage. Let me write you down so I can take care of you on the rundown.
Hold on. We just for clarification purposes, could you please, because I do believe that Bro Clarence and others are butchering your name. So could you please pronounce your name the correct way? Because we want to give you the proper respect when pronouncing your name.
It's Ednenia.
Ednenia?
Yeah.
So what do we call
You're fine with how you say it. That's fine.
I want to say it the correct way.
Is Nia good? If we say
Nia is fine.
Is that good?
Okay.
Nia.
Yes.
I like that. So that's the challenge, Bro Clarence. Say her name right.
I gotta practice that, man. It take me a long time to get it right. Okay, sis.
Bro Clarence is bad with pronouncing names. Remember, he had Roy Shack. He was calling him raw chicken and stuff.
Sis, you came up here. Let's hear these jewels you're gonna drop on us and get us straight. Get our minds right, sis. What you gonna drop on us?
Well, I want to first say that I am absolutely honored that you made me a moderator. I just so thoroughly respect you and your platform. I appreciate that, because sometimes I think I'm like New Growth because I kind of listened to some of the stuff last night. And I think I'm just so protective of the people and the platforms that I support that when you hear people, at least in my opinion, that may not be showing due respect, that it's challenging to hear. So what I wanted to say in particular here, and I really won't stay long because I really don't get on panels except for bolos.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
But I just wanted to say that, for this whole platform, you men have been so awesome, and OG Patrice. I have grown and learned so much. And just from the platform today, just from the stream today, Be Easy, you are so wise. Oh my goodness. I've listened to you. I don't know if you remember, but when you would sometimes come on Rush Ribbons, but you have consistently been just a breath of wisdom and patience, with a little bit of, rough boy, respectfully. So that's like a perfect blend. So I didn't want you to leave because I felt that you were so valuable to the conversation, and to just what Brother Clarence is trying to do. Vaughn, you know how much I absolutely love you and how consistent that I've seen you. And I just appreciate, one, you got a little rough. I said, whoa, Vaughn.
That's only for me, Sister Annie. He'll fuss
Sorry
at me.
about that.
He'll fuss at me, Sister Annie. Everybody else he treat nice.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
But what that showed was that you are so, you respect Brother Clarence's platform so much that when you see that someone has come up and tried to, throw some rust on a smooth a smooth sail, that it's disturbing, and you kind of just react in it. I have new growth. I so appreciate you too, because I've seen you in the chats, and I've seen how you've supported and taken up for Brother Clarence. I've heard your ideas on stuff. So I just love that it's so well balanced. And Big Rig Slaps, I loved all your conversation today. I actually had subscribed to Knowledge and Relationships, and I love the Intellectual Soapbox. So I just appreciate each one of you, and I thank you for just how much y'all are willing to sacrifice, because y'all give a lot. Like, you think you've been up here for all these hours.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing time from your family. You're probably missing out on, like, I don't really watch TV, so I listen to a whole bunch of YouTubes, and I like that because I get to choose what I listen to. And one of the things that are so comfortable about listening to this platform is that you are consistently trying to have it be respectful, nurturing, and inspiring. So I just thank each one of you for everything you do. I'm not a big person that comes on a platform. I support you completely, Brother Clarence. And I know what you were trying to do. I know what you were trying to do, because I've watched you. I watched how you move, and I commend you for it. Your patience and your forgiveness is probably greater in spaces than I would have. But we need people like that. And we also need people with the energy like Be Easy. Sometimes you got to say, hey, look, let me pull your collar really quick. Watch what you're saying.
Right.
So I thank and appreciate each one of y'all. And I thank you for allowing me to come up. This may be one of the only times, but New Growth, thank you for asking me to come up.
Thanks
This
for
is
the
probably one of the few times that I'll come up, but I totally support you.
And
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely a pleasure. Absolutely a pleasure.
You see how she just took the whole energy to a great place?
Switched it. That's the type of energy I love.
And that's how you come on a panel. Let that be an example.
For real. Hey, you literally just dropped the gem by simplistic. I'll tell you, Brian, that's how you come on a panel. If you don't have this type of energy, why would you come up to the panel with any less energy than what she just displayed?
Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, Rico, I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fucking where my mask at. The mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side managed shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quick and it ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride, 3 straps, a ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps, a ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show, homie. I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. on me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. The ski mask with the case, squeezing key zaps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. The ski mask with the case, squeezing key zaps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you're hollering in cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live, got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch, boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, but fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga, it'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing key zaps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing key zaps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right, y'all. That is brother Eric. Shout out to 16 to Life. Shout out to the brother, man. That's brother Eric, and he is a former convict, man, but a good, always a good dude, man. But brother Eric did 24 years in the California penal system, man. Bounced around all over the place, but finally got himself, under control, man, and decided, hey, I got a chance to be out there on the street. So he decided to learn what he had to learn to go in front of the parole board, and he made it happen, man. Shout out to Brother Eric. Brother Eric letting us use this music for free because he believes in the work we're trying to do over here, man. Shout out to Brother Eric. But you can go over to his webpage, 16 to Life, and just type that in the YouTube browser, and his page will come up. Funny cat, man. Brother Eric is he's a good dude. Funny cat. Very humble brother, man. Very humble brother Eric. But don't get it twisted, man. Brother Eric got them hands for you, man. If you want to act funny style, Brother Eric does have them hands for you, man. He is no joke. But shout out to Brother Eric. You going over there, man. He's got tracks like he gave us this track, Relapse. He's got other tracks over there, man. And let's support the brother, man. I supported the brother. I ordered when he was putting out merch. I ordered his merchandise. I got some of his merchandise, man. So nobody supports black business. I do. We do. We do over here, right? We support it, right? So shout out to us. Let's talk to Better Black Life family. Everybody who's connected to us, man. Shout out to all of y'all, man. But that's Brother Eric, man. If you really want some funny stories, man, go on over and check out 16 to Life, man. That dude is a funny cat, man, but he's just a good dude too. All right, that's brother Eric. Set my microphone up better. All right, that's Brother Eric. Okay, but guess what? Brother Eric is not the only guy I got in the building. What's up, Brother Rico?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Football Sunday, baby. Football Sunday. And we taking a beating already. Me
Who's
and my
we?
commanders, we're not looking too good. How about
Man,
you? How's your Sunday been so far, sir?
man, blessed is the best word I can use in English, man. You know, my granddaughter, man, they took her yesterday while we were on the live stream. My wife said, man, we just gonna take her to. She wants you to go, but I know you're busy, so we're just
Mhm.
gonna take her to Knott's Berry Farm. I said, yeah, take her. Don't hold her up for me. I'm gonna take her to the movies next weekend. And
Okay.
so she went to Knott's Berry Farm, bro.
Take her to see the Little Mermaid. You and her might be the only one in the theater. You and the white folks going.
Hey man, look here,
It
Rico.
just be you and baby girl. The white folk can't take it.
Rico, she was so happy. She had
Was
all these
she?
toys that her dad bought her, right?
Mhm.
And that made her whole morning just to tell me, oh, Papa, I got this toy, and I got this toy, and I got this toy,
Okay.
and I got this toy. See, these dudes telling you what a millionaire is. I'm a millionaire. I
Yeah.
am a millionaire because I got that situation going on, man.
Yeah.
She was just so happy to tell me, and I'm waking up to sleep on my eye. One day, Rico called me and woke me up early in the morning, man. I was like, Rico, what you doing?
Look. Y'all ass keep me up late at night.
I gotta
Y'all
talk to
keep
you,
me
man.
up late at night.
I gotta talk to you. I said, Rico, come on, man. Let me fix the baby some breakfast. All right, call me back. All right.
How you
But
think I
shout out to
feel
Rico.
1 o'clock in the morning when y'all still have me? I'll be like, God damn.
It's
It'd
funny
be 2
because
o'clock in the morning on the East Coast.
we have Rico behind the scenes back chat. Everybody else be like, yeah. Everybody else be talking. Patrice be talking. Hey. Everybody be talking. And then Rico be sitting in the back.
At 2 o'clock in the morning. Shit.
Rico be like, hey, finally Rico will say, hey, I don't care what y'all talking about. I gotta go. I'll talk to y'all later.
Well, my wife will leave my ass outside too.
Yeah, man. So
It's been a
I
couple of
understand
times
that
I
one,
woke
man.
up.
So
I'm
you
like,
gotta.
what the fuck? You was out there running your mouth. I left your ass out there. Like, yeah. So I'm
All right,
learning.
man. Rico, people been
Yes,
looking
sir.
for you, brother. They've been asking me, where's Rico? Where's Rico? Where's Rico? So I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
glad you're here.
Saturday, Mama went out of town again. Actually, she on your coast again. She's up in Seattle. So,
Okay, good.
so
Shout out to her.
I tried. She still left here with foots in my ass.
I
So,
took
I
Rico
was
last
like,
night.
I wanted to get on, but I was like, nah, I gotta spend. She been mad at me all week, so I'm trying to get in
told
her
Rico,
good
man.
graces, and I only got about 20% in, and she only halfway slammed the door at 4 o'clock this morning going to the airport.
I
I
told
was like,
Rico, man,
well,
Rico,
it
just do
wasn't
what your
that
wife said,
loud, so I
man.
guess she coming back.
I said, Rico, just do what your wife said. Okay. You tell me to do something, I ain't gonna do it. All right, Rico. All right. You'll learn the hard way, brother. You'll learn.
I know.
All right.
Old
Rico,
Southern
let's do some
food.
shout outs real quick, man. Let's do
Yes,
some
sir.
shout outs. All right. Let's shout out to Jill's Chocolate Boutique. Jill said, good morning, Brother Clarence. Let's talk to Brother Black like family. I'm on the way to
Yeah.
church. We hear you. Oh, shout out to Jill. We'll see you after church, man. After church, that's out. Shout out to Brother Wally. Glad to have you in the building, my brother. Good to see you. Big Rick Slaps. We hung out yesterday, man. It was a family affair like Sly Stone. It was a family affair, man. Shout out to you, brother. Go ahead and check out Brother Big Riggs over at Knowledge and Relationships. Go and check the show out, the hottest show in town, Easily Rigged. This is one half of the dynamic duo. We had the other half, Brother Be Easy, that dude, on yesterday. We had both of them on yesterday, man. What a treat, man. What a treat that was. Shout out to you, Big Riggs. My sister, OG Patrice, my sister said to me, hey, I don't want you to do this, brother. I love you. I don't want you to do this. Don't do this. And that's not don't do that. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna do it anyways.
I'm be stubborn like Rico.
Hey, but Rico, I'm thinking I think I'm in the lion's den, right? I'm thinking I'm by myself. I turn around, who's there? Who's got their back to my back, right? OG Patrice and Von Bryan, right?
And I'm shaking my head. So I told that nigga not to go. I told
That
him
is a good
not
sister
to go.
right there, man. That is a
I
good sister.
told him not to go.
Well, shout out to OG
We all knew.
Patrice,
Look,
man.
she had the foresight and her crystal ball, and she called it spot on.
Oh yeah, it's spot on. I think we all knew that was gonna happen, man. And they
100,000%.
just was trying to get me to reconsider. But you know me, man. I'm gonna always try to extend that hand.
Yeah.
the Intellectual Soapbox, man. Shout out to Intellectual Soapbox. If you haven't already subscribed to Intellectual Soapbox, get on over there and subscribe to Intellectual Soapbox, man. They have some good conversations over there. Shout out to you, Miss 84. He said the family is building, man. Knowledge and relationship. We're in the building. The Intellectual Soapbox, we're in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Glad to have you in the building, my brother. You know how we do on a Sunday show. It's pretty stacked, man. But we got to do all of this stuff, man, because we got to hurry up because Patrice has her show. It's going to debut on Knowledge and Relationships at 3 p.m. Pacific. So we're going to hurry up and try to go as fast as we can and get out of here so we can go over there and support her. All right. Big Rick said that was a hell of a stream, man. It was, brother. We enjoyed you guys so much, man. Thank you for stopping by. Wally said, wait, she pull up? Oh, yeah. Sister Annie ain't no joke, man. Shout out to say, hey, brother Clarence. Wow, I'm honored. Yeah, man. It was such a blessing, man. Such a blessing to have you on the panel, man. I hope that it's not the last time you came on. But your maiden voyage, very strong performance, very, very solid. And I don't get those very solids out to just anybody. Shout out to you. Let's see who else is in the building. Von Bryant. Me and Von Bryant did 12 hours yesterday, brother. 12 hours together, man. Holy smokes. Surprised we didn't tear each other apart, man. Man, shout out to Von Bryant, man. That's another good brother, man. All these brothers are good brothers, man. Shout out to everybody. Let's see who else is in the building. Who else is in the building? 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 Make sure I get to everybody that's in the building. No. Let's see, Brother Anderson, my Tarsh brother. Glad to have you in the building, my brother. Glad to have you in the building, man. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you as always. Everybody's so generous, man. Brother Anderson, another generous donor to the backpack situation, man. Shout out to everybody who's donated so far and who wants to donate and just don't have it. Shout out to you and everybody who has it and has donated. Shout out to everybody, man. We appreciate you. All right, man. Rico, I'm
Yes,
doing
sir.
it, man. I'm doing as fast as I can, man. Damn, man. Going
Come on,
fast.
old Negro source.
All right, y'all. So we got some questions and answers. So Rico's gonna kind of guide us through this situation. And we're gonna just kind of go through it and see what it's all about.
Yeah, because I promise we're gonna get through this within 30, 45 minutes max, and then we're gonna stick a pin in it. And then we're gonna stick a pin in it. But
that's it.
I guess the best way to explain it is me and Brother Clarence, we thought we were doing some good. We've always been doing some good. And we were speaking on the topic, sitting over here minding our own business. And I guess for some unknown reason, people took some exception to our freedom of speech. And you know how I take it, I gives a damn. But nonetheless, I'm going to come into this conversation like a mature adult, and we're going to discuss it like a mature adult. So, and like I said, when I left the conversation Tuesday, and that's like the story that Brother Clarence gave you guys earlier, he's very, very super protective of his granddaughter and all kids, i.e. that's why we're doing the kids backpack. So we're all about the kids. I'm all about the kids. So we're extremely sensitive. So I'll admit, I'm a little butthurt when it comes to children. I gladly will admit I'm butthurt when it comes to children.
Hold on, Rico. Let me hold on real quick. Let me do a shout out to Bolo TV. Man, if you haven't already subscribed to Bolo TV, go on over there, man, and get you some inspiration, man. Shout out to Bolo TV, man. My Saturday morning cartoon brother. All right.
Yeah. So that's how we feel about it. Everybody feels a certain way about things the way they do, and that's perfectly fine. You're totally entitled to it. But that's not going to change my perspective on children, parenting, and whatnot. It's not going to change Clarence's. Mine might be a little bit more harsher. Clarence may be a little less harsher, but we still kind of land in the same place. And we just share our opinion and our belief system about it. Unfortunately, if it's not favored by certain segments, they feel like they're gonna come for me. I just suggest you know who you come in for. That's all I'll say, and I'll leave it at that. But Brother Clarence tried to continue dialogue with people that I told him it's pointless in trying to dialogue with them because they're not having an honest conversation. And I asked him, I didn't ask him, I just told him I suggested that he wouldn't He don't need to go to certain spaces and try to convince people of certain things that they're just not going to believe because they don't want to. They're not being rational. Irregardless of his 35 years of marriage, his raising of multiple kids with the same mother in the same house, they're going to dismiss all that and tell him he crazy. Irregardless of my 3 marriages, 2 failed and 1 currently successful, and being in and out of the system. So my experience, and I don't tell that as if we are the know all to end all, but we know a little something. So when we speak from our perspectives and our positions. But in this space, what I'm coming to realize is if you don't have groupthink, then you're attacked. You're attacked. But it's funny though, it's more than just groupthink. It's groupthink and if they like you, because some of the same people that they support will say the exact same thing we say almost verbatimly.
Wow.
And that's okay. But if it comes out of my mouth or Clarence's mouth, the exact same position, we're demonized and vilified for it. And y'all know I'm not accepting that shit. I'm flat out not accepting it. So I give a damn about your butt hurt. But you know what? We're going to go a little bit further because I know that that's a trigger word to people. Clarence, can you pull up the definition of butt hurt? Because people are triggered about things and they don't even know what it is. Or do you want me to look it up? And everybody,
I have it here. Okay.
Everybody can Google the definition of butt hurt. Anybody and everybody can Google it. So they're being butt hurt about an adjective to describe a behavior that I see. So I use that adjective to describe that behavior. If you fucking butt hurt about it, you're butt hurt about it. Go ahead, read it for us, Clarence.
I'm gonna bring it up, man, so we can
bring it up. Because see, we share. There you go. And if I'm not mistaken, it reads as this: overly or unjustifiably offended or resentful.
Correct.
As an adjective. A noun, an excessive or unjustifiable feeling of personal offense or resentment.
Right.
So when these people in these spaces show that behavior, to me, you're fucking butthurt. It's in the Oxford Dictionary. If you don't know what it means, too bad. If it applies, too bad. Stop being unjustifiably or excessively or overly resentful and offended about every little minor slight. That's what it means. And yes, their behavior, their language, and the way that they sat there and approached us, they're fucking butthurt. And I'm going to call it that every time I see it. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, because you're going to probably hear the word butthurt from me, because I like it. I like the use of the word.
Let's stick to the points, Rico. Come on, let's hit the points.
Okay, so with that out the way, Brother Clarence went over there Friday night. It was a comedy to me. I just cracked up laughing. And I'm just going to tell you this. I didn't go on the show. I'm not even going to name the show. Brother Clarence went up there, and I think he was treated unfairly. Matter of fact, I know he was treated unfairly.
Definitely.
And he was advised not to go up there because he was treated unfairly. But you know, I take my hat off to him. He continuously want to save everybody. Well, you know, you get what you get. So he was treated unfairly and harshly, and he was spoken to in a way that I wouldn't have accepted. But as I'll tell you this, if you watch the stream, then I'm just going to go over timestamps. I'm not naming anybody, and I'll just tell you the timestamp of what I heard, my perception of it, and if I have any pushback to the statements that were being made. Now, this was supposed to be a conversation. Well, they called it the system, but I assume they were talking about the child support system. Because when you talk about system, like, what are they talking about? The system of white supremacy? Are they talking about the criminal justice system? Are they talking about the education system? Are they talking about the healthcare system? Are they talking about, because all of these, as if you're well read, you know they're independent systems. They do enter, but each system is still independent on its own. Okay, so education doesn't dictate child support. Child support don't dictate criminal justice. Okay, so I just say that, but I just wanted to, because I spent the last 2 days and I only got halfway through. I only got an hour and 47 minutes through. And these were my observations. At the 27, and when I give you these timestamps, because I encourage everybody to go back and look at, if I say anything that triggers you, to go back to the timestamp and look and see for yourself. Okay, so I don't want, because I don't want to I let these people words speak for themselves. So at the first thing I noticed was at the 27-minute mark, 10 seconds, and you may have to go a couple of seconds before, one of the panelists made the statement that the system, and I'm assuming it's in the context of child support, took trades out of high school.
Well, what's the timestamp, Rico?
27 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay.
So you may have to go 27 minutes or 26:50, whatever, and then just let it play. So I was just like, what are we talking about? Trades and child support. So I started off there. Shortly thereafter, at the 28-minute, 8-second, a panelist offered the age-old trope about the government giving Black women, and I know a lot of people here still believe this, right? Giving Black women money and support to kick the Black man out the house. To me, it's unsubstantiated unless I see evidence to show that. There's a lot of speculation and there's certain theories that surround that, but no one has substantiated that to be factually true. But I know it's like COVID. It's impossible to kill once it gets out. So I just wanted to say that because that was the next thing that just stood out to me. Then at the 30-minute, 39-second mark, a panelist on this panel correctly and accurately pointed out that Black men do not vote, adding to their own demise. And then he correctly pointed out that these same butthurt men will not collectively come together to advocate for their own cause. This was a panelist there. So you go to the 30-minute, 39-second, you're going to see that panelist pretty much saying the same thing that me and Brother Clarence has said over here repeatedly.
Right. It wasn't me, Rico, right? It was a whole other panelist.
None of these things Clarence said. Not a single thing Clarence said. So we're sitting there, I'm listening to these people say the same thing we say over here, and they get none of the vilification. They get none of the vitriol. They get none of the insults, none of the attacks. Remember, bro, Clarence is bad for Black men. Remember? Remember?
Right. I forgot about that.
He
I'm
was
bad.
for Black men.
I'm bad for Black men.
He's trash. He's trash. I won't even tell
I'm
you
terrible,
what they
Rico.
think about
Rico,
me.
I'm terrible.
You're terrible. I won't even tell you what they think about me. But that position there that panelist said at the 30-minute, 39-second is the exact same position that myself and Brother Clarence has repeated here repeatedly on this platform. When we said burn them down, blow up the damn channel. When they said poo-poo and just go right past it. Okay, fine. At the 32-minute and 33-second mark, another panelist stated that all they're doing is complaining and not doing shit to change it. But remember, when I say butthurt, they get offended. But this is what this panelist said. So you go to the 32-minute, 33-second mark, you will hear a panelist state that claim. The next claim I heard was someone complaining and misquoting about everything I said. And here's the key thing. It was a setup because they went into this long diatribe about the term betrayal. And this is going to get funny. It's going to get funny, right? So they went on to this long diatribe about, oh, you betraying, blah, 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 blah. And I'll get into that a little bit more. At the 44-minute mark, a panelist completely destroyed the bullshit betrayal argument. Because to betray someone, you must first be in alliance with them. If we're not in alliance, I cannot betray you. However, the claim was because Brother Clarence did not align with their position, he was betraying Black men. That was the claim.
Oh, Rico, you going out, man. Rico.
Clarence.
Rico.
Clarence, are you here?
Rico.
Did I freeze or you froze?
Yeah. Now we can hear you. Now you were fading. Now we can hear what you said for the past 10 seconds. Yeah, we can see you.
Okay, so basically, but am I mistaken that they accused you of betraying the Black male community?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the accusation was you didn't align with their position.
Yes.
You was betraying them because you didn't align with their position. Am I mistaken about
Correct.
that?
No.
Okay, because this went into this whole betrayal trope, and you were going pushing back, but they was all insisting. Pretty much half the panelists was agreeing that you was
Right.
betraying because you didn't
Pretty
agree
much.
to something, that you didn't support something that you never agreed to in the first place.
Right.
It made no sense. But a fellow panelist that was there agreed that it was bullshit and called it out and explained why it didn't make any sense to claim that you betrayed them, because this panelist said nobody agreed to it, right?
No smoke.
No smoke. None. Zero.
Nothing.
But this person literally tore the entirety of the argument apart. When Clarence pushed back, what don't you understand? And Clarence, are you stupid? Your betrayal is a betrayal, is a betrayal. And this person that was on this panelist at that 44-minute mark destroyed the argument. At the 48-52-minute mark, then the very person who threw the claim of betrayal out finally admitted that it was an improper application of the word. Finally realized that, you know what, this was stupid. I shouldn't have used the term betrayal, and I will give him credit for that. He backtracked.
But that's only after everybody else.
That was only after
there were other people that was supporting what I was saying.
If Clarence had stood there on his own square, on his own, they would have eviscerated him because he didn't bend the knee to their flawed application. It was tragically flawed. Okay. Then, so he admitted it at the 48-52-minute mark after a couple of his panelists called bullshit on it. It was utter garbage. So then he tried to flip it and replace it with the word, of course, here come the insult, pander. We're panda bears, Clarence. Okay. If we support, remember,
I forgot about that. You're right.
Betrayal, and I'm going to insert pander.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's that hidden shot, right? You know, and once again, trying to stupidly equate the cause of child support to the cause of freedom from bondage with a Nat Turner analogy. That's what we're going to use. I'm an observer. I just watched the show. This is what I heard. This is my observations to this nonsense.
Hey man, wait a minute. I thought you were too scared to watch that. I thought you were.
I'm too unintelligent. And you know what? For added measure, I'm a high school diploma, and I was halfway in a bottle of gin, and I picked up on all this shit. That's the worst part. They need to do when I'm sober. When I'm drunk, I'm very perceptive. So
then let's wrap these up, man, because this stuff don't even take all this, man. So
let me say this.
To this kind of stuff.
There was one person in particular that pulled up this and got real brilliant on us and said, by the law of tacit acquiescence and implied acceptance, which states that if you take the benefit of something, then you apply for that standard. Remember that point, Clarence? So just by virtue of
pretty good. I had to give him credit for that one. That was pretty good.
But here's the bullshit. So you're black and you're a man, Clarence. So you automatically ascribe to the standard of black men. So my question is this. So by accepting that explanation, why do black men must adhere to the standard of a black men, but black fathers are not required to accept the standard of fathers? See what I'm saying? Because all we laid out was a standard that fatherhood is you take care of your fucking children. Full stop. That's all my argument has ever been. And it has not changed and won't change. I'll tell you this. I come from a community that fathers don't make excuses, they make a way. That's the community I'm from. So for me to sit there and tell men that you need to get out of your...
Well, let me ask you a question, Rico. Rico, are you there, Rico? Rico, you got to get off that dial-up, Rico. You got to get, Rico, they have Wi-Fi, Rico. You can use Wi-Fi, brother. Rico. Well, the question I wanted to ask Rico is that, did we try to put it out there that black men were bad? Because how it was laid out was that we were trying to say that black men were no good and black men ain't this and ain't that. And I don't think that was what we were trying to put out there. Maybe somebody took it that way, but I don't think that all we were saying is, you got to do what you got to do. If you have a child in the system, then you got to do what you got to do. Um,
there you go. You got it.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
You good? You're better today.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. Struggle streaming. So
Yeah,
basically at the end of, so I'm just gonna end it on it. And guys, it's a whole lot more. It is a whole lot more, but I'm not even gonna bore you with it. All I would ask you guys to do is when you listen to these spaces, listen critically and hear what they're saying. Hear what they're saying. So when you got people attacking us who advocate, which if you go to our stream here on Tuesday at the 1 hour, 19-minute mark, you will hear a father advocate for not paying child support and going to jail. Did I make that up, Clarence?
No.
I find that to be a reprehensible, irresponsible. So when they even say that, they're advocating for this position and they're speaking it out, and they have young men listening to them or other fathers, and they're giving terrible advice, terrible information. I listened at the end of that stream for a person to tell young men, Clarence, you're not gonna believe this, you had left, to go and take your kids and do not return them home. And when the police come, tell them, come and get them. And you know what I told them? You're gonna get some young men locked up or shot and killed. Oh,
I think another panelist told him, "Hey, don't do that. Don't do that."
Told him because he was responding to me in the chat when I put in the chat, you're going to get somebody locked up or fucking killed with that tragic legal advice. That is parental kidnapping. What the hell are we talking about? I don't care what's viable in your state. It doesn't mean it apply in every other state. And what I'm speaking to is when you and I try to be careful and give reasonable, measured advice, and simply because it doesn't sit there and assuage their butthurt feelings, they want to attack and vilify us because I don't speak what I don't know.
Right, me either, yeah.
So when I put it out
there, when
I put it out there, the other panelists checked him because he's in the state of California, and he was like, "Oh no, in California, your ass going to jail." And I'm like, "Duh, you gonna go to jail in Maryland for that shit too? You gonna go to jail in DC and Virginia for that too?" But
I'm thinking like, what made somebody would even think to give people advice like that to do something like that? Not knowing the law, right? Not, I can see if you know the law, but not knowing the law, ouch.
Right. So, but that's just the thing. So we went into that, and I just, like I said, found that very troubling and very problematic.
You got somebody behind you, man.
So, yeah, I just found that. So that's what I was saying. I was just getting to the point that all of this stuff. So just like if someone would give you information about parental abduction, why would you not question other things that seem soundly untrue or don't make sense? And all I'm saying is I heard enough things. Pretty much, I don't think I heard one factual thing on the 4-hour stream. That was 4 hours of my life wasted. It was 4 hours of my life wasted. But again, pull up our that NCLS spreadsheet database, because we're going to coach them on how you can look up your information. The one, the NCLS with the chart, because we're going to go over briefly give us 15 minutes. We're going to go over the numbers on child support because we're not going to lie to you. And we're going to tell you, here you go. You can go to the website. You can check it out yourself because they're throwing out all kinds of numbers, Child support is a big business, but it's not enriching the states like people are saying or they're implying. And that's the problem.
Let's see.
You just click the link, it should open, Clarence.
Yeah, it's open. I just got to get over there. Sometimes the software runs slow.
Right. So in doing so, it was problematic. So, okay, there you go. Perfect. So here's the first thing I want to do. If we all agree that we have approximately, I believe at the last census count, 3. So here's our resource. Our resource is the National Conference of State Legislatures. This is a bipartisan, which means Republican and Democrat, of state legislators for all 50 states and U.S. territories to include Guam, Puerto Rico, blah, 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 blah.
Wait, Rico. I just want to make it clear. This is nonpartisan, so there's nobody getting over on nobody, right?
No, this is bipartisan. That means they're from both sides.
That's what I meant to say. Bipartisan.
Right. They're from
so
both sides.
It's nobody's at the in the majority.
That's the Democrat. That's the Republican. It's the Democrat and the Republican. Because if you click on the About Us, Clarence, click on the About Us at the top.
Okay.
Yeah, click on it. I want that page open and see. NCLS, this organization has been founded since 1975, and it is it says right in here, represents the legislature and the states and territories, Commonwealth of the U.S. Its mission is to advance the effectiveness about legislature of all the states. It is both sides. So just hit the back arrow so we can go back to the database. Okay. Now here, it's approximately 330 million Americans, right? Slide down, so slide up, go down. Yeah, right. Keep going. All right. Okay. So here, go back up a little bit, and click on that total distributed collection. Click on that to make it close. All right. So here, I just want to show you each category of data that they keep. They keep the total distributed collections. Total distributed collections mean money that was received and paid out. That's the definition of distributed. They gave it out. Then they have the total amount of arrearages, which is the amount of all the people that's owed back pay. Then they have the total amount of current support due. Then they have, this is an important number, total caseload for every state. And also another important number, because people like to talk about the money they're making, the total administrative expenditures, meaning how much each state paid to run that program for any given year. So if we want to look at, let's go first, click on total caseload number, the total caseload, Clarence. Yep, hit it to expand it. All right, then you go to, now what they have currently, because they're running behind, is years 2015, 16, 17, 18. We can extrapolate 19, 20, 21, that there'll all be slight increases at best. And it has all 50 states. Go down to, this is the caseload count. So this means in the state of Alabama, in 2015, it was 218,827, 2016, 216,000, and so on and so on. Each column, the up and increase between 15 and 18, it's down 4% in Alabama, down 11% in Alaska, blah, blah. Some states keep going down in the column. Okay. Most states had a decrease, keep going. But the important to go all the way to the bottom, because the important number that I want you to stand out, and you can go to your state and figure out, is look at the total number of people on any given year that's on child support through the system. So in 2015, it was 14,744,538. 2016, 14,522,000. 2017, 14,228. Down to 2018, 13 million. So it's about almost a 14 million average. That's 14 million people out of 330 million. What percentage of the population is that, Clarence?
Let's do the math. Let's do it. Let's find out. Okay.
This is the population.
14. You said what 14?
14 out of 330.
Okay, let's do 14.
Because we know from the latest census, America has about 330 million people. Now we got 14. Now this does not mean that it's 14 million paying child support. This means it's 14 million that's paying through the Office of Child
Support. 4%, Rico.
4% of the population is paying through the system. The vast majority of people who pay child support, they don't pay it through the court. They work out an obligation. They don't pay it through the system. They worked out a child support, and they don't even have a child support order, but they don't automatically put you in the system unless sometimes they can. So let me be careful about what I'm saying. But in a larger number of cases, they don't do wage garnishment because the parent willingly pays. I remember in DC, the first time I paid for my youngest son, for the first 2 years, I was going up there paying it myself until I got tired of doing it.
Okay, so Rico, let me
So
be clear. Let me be clear.
People to know it's not 14 the 40, 50, 60 million people paying child support, but only 14 million of them is paying it through the system. The vast majority of them are just meeting their obligations without needing to involve the system.
All right,
ahead,
that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to ask you, Rico.
Yeah.
These people, these 14 million people that's paying, they're
Yeah.
the ones with the court orders to pay, right?
They're with the court orders,
But
and
there's other
still,
people
for
that don't
whatever
have a court
reason,
order that just agreed on their own, and
but
they're
some
just
of those
paying.
people, some of those people even have court orders, but they still don't collect the Office of Child Support because they dutifully send in the payment to the court. They do what your payroll's supposed to do. That dude will cut a check every 2 weeks or once a month. He just like he pay his rent, he pay his child support.
Right.
You just write a check, stick it in the mail, and send it in. See it come out of his bank account. He's got his receipt. He can balance it. There's his proof because he pays it to, like you'll pay it to the court of California Child Support Enforcement Office. You write a check to them, you send it in, they cash it, you pay. There's your receipt. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. They don't require it to go through unless you fall in arrears. They have to go through some sort of enforcement mechanism. It's called OCSE, Office of Child Support Enforcement. If no enforcement is required, they don't.
Hold on, Rico. We are going to drop the link, guys, in probably about maybe 45 minutes, an hour.
Actually, about another 10, 15 minutes, because I'm not even going long stroke.
No, because I still got to go through this, the Black History Minute.
Oh, okay, yeah, we got to go through that.
Oh, I got to go through that. So give me about an hour, and then we're gonna touch back base. Just Rico, just explain and break some stuff down. Shout out to Von Eric, by the way. All right, go ahead, man.
Yes, and you're right, Patrice. I'm glad you put that. This is all people. This isn't black men. This is not even all men. This is men and women. This is men and women, white, black, Asian, Latino. This is all races, all sexes, 1,000%. We're going to drop this link in the chat too, so that because we want to. This is what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to tell you to believe nothing I say. Don't believe nothing I say. You run behind my ass and look it up yourself. Okay, I'm not going to do this. I told you so. I'm not going to give you no story about my auntie, cousin, brother, niece, nephew, little auntie. I'm not going to make up nothing. So I'm just saying. So go back. So that, and I just wanted to point that out because this is the caseload demonstrably showing that it's 4%. So when these guys, which they make the valid point that no one doesn't care, because 96% of us, that's not our problem. That's what and it may sound harsh, but I'm like, come on. That like the vast majority of society doesn't care about the prison population because my ass ain't in jail. Now, do family members of prisoners care? Sure. Okay, that's gonna bump. The prison population is still, what is it like? I guess maybe we got the biggest prison population, but I think I don't know. Somebody Google how many prisoners in the U.S. I don't think that's more people in. It's more people.
2 million, Rico. It's 2 million.
2 million.
A little over 2 million.
Who's going to get? That's got to be what 0.1% or 1%. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm just using this because again, I got family members in and out of jail. I'm like, it's hard to get people to care. They just not going on. Now, I do push for prison reform. Because see, that's an easier fight. To say, hey, let's reform it. Let's do it. And see, that's what they should be doing. They don't speak in the language of child support reform. They speak in the language of child support abolishment. See, and ain't nobody getting with that bullshit. Not for no 4% of you. I'm like, nah, that 96%, the 96% that's paying it willingly ain't gonna get with it either, because they ain't got no problem. So when those facts or truths are spoken, they get butthurt. Okay. Can you collapse this again for me, Clarence? And then we're gonna make sure we put this link because again, this ain't mine.
Put it out there, Rico. I already put it out there.
Okay. Just collapse it.
Okay. Just
to make it small again. You go to the top and click on the tab. Right. All right. So if you go up to total distributed collections, so you can go to your state. Anybody can pick on their state, and you see each year how much that state paid out in child support for all of its residents. But then it's based on how many people. So you see, like California, go to California, because California, Texas, Florida, New York, New Jersey, those are the big money makers. So go to, California paid out. $2 billion each year they're paying out in child support. That means that's money being sent out. That's not California keeping it. That's California giving it out. So let's just say this. California for 2015 gave out $2,247,498,866. Over $2 billion.
So let's be clear, Rico. So is
Mm-hmm.
that how much they collected, or this how much they dispersed?
That's what they distributed, because they might have collected a little bit more, because remember,
They got
repayment.
the fees, right?
No, we're going to check. I'll show you the fees. We got the fees in here. That's the beauty of it. So they gave $2 billion. Collapse this.
Okay.
Collapse this. Now go down to the total administrative expenses, and look at California for that same year. Scroll down. California in that year collected $932,640,548. Now, they paid out $2 billion, but they probably brought in closer to maybe about 4 or maybe 5. Why? California has a very high caseload of TANF people, right? Y'all got a lot of welfare y'all pay out. So for all that welfare they pay out, they don't distribute that.
Zero.
That money repays the federal government and the state. That is the percentage that they keep. They keep the percentage for those who received welfare. They keep that. Okay, so they gave out approximately California there. So they gave out like they kept maybe like 900 million, gave out 2.2.
Collected the total 3.1 billion that year for 2015.
No, even more. You added what they kept plus what they paid out, right?
Right.
Probably even more, because that the administrative cost is what they pay for employee salaries, everybody, all of the myriad stuff they have to do,
right?
To go out and collect this money. But they also kept money that they had to repay the federal government for TANF.
Okay.
They had to send that money back to the federal government. And so if
that's outside of the administrative,
outside of what they gave out to the woman, outside of what they paid their employee, when the money first come in, it says, California says the first 50, if she gets TANF, she has to sign over her child support.
Right.
She don't get it. You want welfare, you want child support. You don't double dip. You don't get to do both. So you say you want the welfare, we'll continue to giving you welfare. And when your child support comes in, we're gonna give you the first 50, and the rest of that month is gonna go pay us back for this money we've been giving you. Right. We voted for that, people. America voted for that. Bill Clinton, Newt Gingrich, and the Welfare Reform Act voted for the repayment. Prior to that, they didn't used to have to repay it back. But we voted, said we got tired, we wanted that money back. And in doing so, that's when the enforcement ratcheted up to go out and find these fathers, because we said we shouldn't have to be taking care of their kids.
Right.
That's why they ratcheted it up. That's all I'm saying. Let's have the conversation around the facts and not around the feelings and all the hyperbole, so hyperbole. So we look at each breakdown on what was collected. I mean, this is what was distributed, the money that they paid out. You can collapse this. Then you can go down, and there's a tab here that has, now this is the number that's going to really blow your ass away. Arrears. Let's click on arrearages. This is money that's owed that they ain't got and probably never will get. Go down to the bottom in 2018, and let's see the arrears for the country. Keep going over to the bottom, because at the bottom of the chart, it has the U.S. total.
Oh.
In the U.S., that's hundreds, thousands, million. Okay, in arrears, in 2018 arrears in 2000, and remember, arrears continue to grow, because there's some dudes ain't never gonna pay. But guess what? You can't file bankruptcy. You can't do. If you hit the lottery, they want their bread. The total arrears in the U.S. is in 2018. I don't know. It's probably 125 now. $118 billion plus. at the end of 2018, 118 with a B plus. Now you can look at state by state. Go to your state. Like, I'm gonna pick on you. I'm gonna pick on you, Clarence. California. Them deadbeats in California. Come on, let's see how much them deadbeats in California. Go up to California. Come on, roll up to California. Let's see.
California. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
California.
And you got to drag the bar on the right. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, California.
All right.
With
17
billion.
billion with a
Yeah,
B.
17 billion. Holy smoke.
Now remember, they paid out 2 billion. See, and that number continues to grow.
Right.
Because the only way
Rico.
it don't grow is if everybody pay up what they owe. But
Or
we
you
know
die,
that ain't
right?
gonna happen.
Does it stop when you die, Rico?
Yes, that's it. Your little bit fall out the pool. Because they can't pass
No
that debt on to somebody
bankruptcy,
else.
I'm in
no
a hospital
bankruptcy,
bed,
no
no Afghanistan,
no imprisonment,
no, I'm in
no
jail.
more war, no.
No.
Your child support debt runs in perpetuity.
I won the lotto. I won the horse track.
Oh, well, when you get that, they taking it. They snatching all that in perpetuity. And I say justifiably so, because the one part of the conversation that everybody leaves out is, well, why I'm locked up? Because your kid was still out here and he still had financial needs.
Yeah, but
and that was still your responsibility.
That's where we differ right there. I don't think
I'm not sitting there saying, but I'm just sitting there saying is the child still had the financial need.
Correct.
And if we gave him the money, right?
Right.
Now, first of all, you committed a crime and got incarcerated. Right. That's the first offense to society. And now while you locked up, I, as society, have to support your child because you're not out here to do it. Right. So when you get out, run me my money.
Right.
That's all I'm sitting there saying, guys. It feels like the cold-hearted truth, but the operative word is truth. Right. That's just the reality. That's the reality for the rest of us out here, because we all have to adhere to this system. But a lot of that is black money white money that's owed. A lot of white boys on this list.
Probably owe the most.
But let me be crystal clear. The majority of them are. The majority of them are. So the majority of the people in the population who owe child support and who owe back child support are white men.
I would say so.
It is. They're the bigger part of the population. Flat out. That's just mathematically
that makes
true. Huh?
That makes mathematical sense.
That's just mathematical sense. And I don't give a shit about them either. Okay, run me my coin. That's just it. Because society says if we have to pay, we have a right to be reimbursed.
Agreed.
We could as a society say, okay, well, you said fuck your kids, we're gonna say fuck your kids. We could because you know what? America used to be that way. See, remember, they used to have women and children out there on the streets who father left them and were out there begging at the churches, at the soup kitchen. And we as a society said that that's cruel and inhumane, and we don't want to see that. So we stepped up in the breach, but we have a right to say, I want my money back.
Right.
So cry me
we had that, and we were like thinking that we were a better situation. But when they went over to Poland, World War II, and Germany, and they saw how people were actually living on the streets, they think they didn't want to have that here.
You go to 2022, you can go to countries in Asia. You can go to countries in Asia. You can go to countries in Africa who don't have a child support or welfare system, and you will see how they are living.
You got a question, Rico? You got a question?
You will see it.
You got a question? Mandrell said, if that's the case, then why don't we get a check every month, Rico?
Who?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand who's supposed to get a check.
And what case is he talking about?
I don't know. That was I don't understand.
Can you be a little more clear, Mandrell?
Yeah, because the question I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand who would get a check and for what reason.
Okay, well, and Von Erich said we're not revealing a lot of info. So Von Erich always is up on everything. So he'll come in later. Later you can come in.
I'm giving you. I tell you what, you got a starting point.
Yeah,
you got a verifiable starting point. Okay, you don't need to dispute me. Dispute these digits. Dispute these numbers. Dispute these words. This is not. You don't see Rico nowhere on this. And I have several other links to individual state websites that give correlating information like this. It's not my information. It's the state of California, state of Texas, state of Michigan, state of Georgia. I pulled some preliminary, not even detailed information that tell you the whole spiel and deal on it. So if you're going to argue, pick a state, and then let's debate that state. But please have a receipt.
Okay,
Have
here we go.
something like this. I'm not going to argue with anybody about their story. It is.
Okay,
Okay, if
so we just
society's
answer the question, Rico. We're just gonna ask you a question. We ain't arguing. Just gonna
okay,
answer
which
the
is
question.
fine, right? Now I understand this
Okay.
question. If society's being reimbursed, why don't we? We do. It goes back into the general fund. So when the federal government gets its cutback, it goes back to the same place that your tax money goes to, and then they do whatever they want with it, which we know that's what they do. To include 9 times out of 10, that money will come back, and then that next check got to go out to somebody else on TANF. Remember, ain't nobody. The TANF rolls are not drying up. So even though so Mandrill, for example, if you finally, as you're paying back your TANF debt, I might be taking that money back and I'm giving it to Clarence now because now he done added to the roll. So I really, the federal government, I may not even get to hold on to the money that long because more people sign every time we hit a certain area, a thing. Some people fall off the roll, some people come on the rolls. But when the federal government, when they claw that money back from you, California, when they give that parent the first 100, take the next 500, they say, oh, 200 owed, because the state contributes too. 200 owed to us, the other 300 go to the federal government. California, all the money that goes into California, does it not go into the general fund, Clarence?
Yes.
Okay, only a very few departments get to keep the money in their individual fund. Usually
everything always goes into a general fund, Rico, and then they start siphoning everything
there
off.
You go.
So,
there you
everything
go.
always goes into, just like when we pay the military,
right.
we have a general fund, and then they
just
Congress
dole out the
decides
money.
where that money goes.
That's 90% of states. That's just the way it operates. So we're not seeing a check, but the people who take it, that office, they're sending that money. Some goes into the state general fund. The rest will go back to the federal government, and they do what they want to do.
All right.
So that's my best
except what goes to the federal government.
Right.
I think the federal government gets off the top, right, Rico? They get it off the top.
So. They give the bigger share.
Yeah, they get it right off the top. So it doesn't even go into the general fund. They just cut the check right away.
And understand this, welfare are block grants they give to the state. So they give them a big fat check. Here you go, California, for this year. And then they use it the way they see fit. But that money, as the welfare reform says, hey, find that baby daddy, get that money, and run me my coins back when you get them.
Right. That's
a grant, what the enforcement mechanism is.
It's a grant to the female, but
to the state.
The father is the guarantor. He has to figure out how he's going to pay. Okay.
Yes. Basically, because there's an obligation for when and you got to remember, okay, Office of Child Support Enforcement is just the enforcement mechanism. It's just they don't give any orders. They don't do anything. All orders are mandated by a state judge who decides based on custody and non-custody, and they usually will assign a certain financial aspect to a non-custodial parent. They come, and you know what? And here's a wowzer. You can go to your state. There's a chart, just like you do your taxes, and there's a schedule. There's a child support schedule. Most of those states and links that we will drop in, you can go onto the page, and they will tell you here's a child support calculator. You can put your figures in, and you won't put it exactly, but it'll get you closely.
Absolutely.
Reading is fundamental, people. Reading is fundamental. I ain't taking no shit from nobody.
Von Eric says he's disputing you, man. So hey, let's do this, Rico.
Okay.
I
knew he'd come in with some crap. But the bottom line is, I can deal with the dispute.
But after this comment with Mandrill, we're gonna go, man. We're gonna get into the show.
Yeah. Okay.
I
don't understand. Do you understand this? So nothing for us. I thought I just explained that.
It's the whole thing. The whole thing is clearly a ripoff. Yeah, if you don't have any children, it's definitely a ripoff.
But how is it a ripoff if we're getting our money back?
Well, because see, you're investing.
Who's being ripped off is what I'm trying to figure out. Then.
Well, I see what he's saying, Rico. He's saying I don't have any children, and
Oh, okay,
so
I got that.
I'm not.
I
I
get
don't
that.
have any children, and
I get
so
that.
this
Okay,
money
right.
I'm giving out,
Buying
I'm
my parents,
contributing
right?
to something that I don't have
Yeah,
any. I don't have a vested interest in.
yeah.
I
So
I
then
can
he
see
should
what
be,
he's saying about that.
but by that logic, then you should want child support enforcement because at least some of that money comes back. If not, you're contributing when they get the TANF money, and you would never get anything back.
But
Am
here's
I
another thing.
mistaken?
Here's another thing, Rico. If you want money back, how come you don't vote somebody in that has a platform to get you the money back?
No, but here's the whole point. If in fact we don't have them pull the money back, then we never get nothing. But we're going to pay it out.
Yeah, because if we give you that check, you're not gonna put it back in the pool to
No,
say nobody else.
voluntarily. The only person we can get it back from is
That ain't
the
gonna keep
working
it up.
non-custodial parent, because 9 times out of 10, if she qualifies for TANF, she either is unemployed or very much underemployed to get TANF, which is temporary assistance to needy families. That's TANF. That's the federal government program. So to qualify for that, so we can't get it back from her because she ain't got a job. If we can get it back from the dude, oh, he ain't got a job. Well, we're gonna
That's
try to
who
help him
we
get a
trying to get
job
it from,
so
man.
he can start paying it back.
Or
That's
or the female, Rico, because it
or the
makes it
female,
seem like
whoever's the
it's just the
non-custodial
men.
parent,
It's whoever the non-custodial
whoever
parent is.
is the
Okay,
non-custodial, white, black, blue, or green.
okay.
We
So
going
I tell you what we're gonna do, Mandrell. No one in my state runs on that platform that looks out. Okay, let me pull it up.
okay.
No one in my state runs on a platform that looks out for taxpayer on this subject. Yeah, I get you, Mandrell. That's why I was saying when I was over in that other panel.
But
If you
that's
don't see
confusing.
nobody, wait a minute, Rico. Let me say
Uh,
this: if you don't see nobody doing it, then why don't you do it?
right.
Why don't you run? Like
And if
Patrice had a great idea. Well, okay, run.
and
You run
if
for
that's
office
right, and
on that.
if that's the case, then you must be for child support enforcement, Mandrill, because that's the only mechanism we have for getting any of the money back. We have no
But you're
other
not gonna get the
mechanism
money
to
back in your
enforce that.
hand, Rico, because they're not gonna give people that money back. They're not gonna cut you a check
Right,
because I came off of child support. They're gonna cut you a check for
right.
$25 because they know you're not gonna put it back in. So they just
We
gonna
don't
keep
know.
it and keep
Right.
churning over that money.
And the
Meanwhile,
reality,
and here's another thing. Their interest off their money, they can put back that also into the general fund as well and
as
do
well.
something with that money. That's a
And,
whole nother source of income for the state.
and I hope he's not saying that we get a check back individually as people. No, because it's the tax money that we
That's what it
pay,
sounds like, Rico.
which that's just a nonsensical argument. We pay our tax dollars, they take that money and they use that money as they see fit, and a portion of using that money as they see fit is helping these women with no support.
Yeah,
So
would you
even if
rather?
that money gets paid back, if they didn't give that money to these women, they're not going to give us a refund check.
I mean,
They're going to use that money on something else. We're never
but
going
see,
to get no
look,
money
Rico.
back.
If you don't have this assistance, and what's gonna happen? You just gonna have your neighborhood's gonna have kids and women laying in the streets. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Is
that's
that
the
what you
channel,
want?
right?
I mean, but that's
But
what I'm
that's
saying.
the
But if we take that away,
right.
that's what we're gonna have. You're gonna have like the slums of Brazil, slums of
Yes,
Haiti, where everybody's
Haiti,
just sleeping in the street,
Brazil,
right?
DR,
Yeah,
Colombia,
right. All
all
of
of those
the
places with no social
Ghana,
safety
all of these
network,
places
whatever.
where
In
kids are running
Africa,
around all over the
Uganda,
street,
Kenya, all of those countries,
right?
Thailand,
So
you
so
got children working.
okay, but we're gonna get back to this. We're gonna
Yeah.
get Mandrill, hang around. We're gonna get back to this, man.
So,
You too, Von Eric. Von Eric, I know you're disputing Von Eric, so hang around, man. I gotta get to
you
Dr.
better have some
Caputo.
receipts, Von Eric.
Got
Don't
you,
come up
sir.
here talking about your sister. Bring a receipt.
I gotta get to Dr.
Bring a
Caputo,
receipt.
and then we're gonna go. We're gonna say, Rico, can we say some black boys right now?
Yep,
Let's
you
say
can
some
say
black
something.
boys.
I think we put enough links in there. So Von Eric, while you waiting, go hit them links. Do you some reading.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, bring a receipt. Don't come and argue one of mine.
I
You
love
bring one.
I love Von Eric's
I love
accent,
him
right?
too.
Rico, you gotta do it this way. We're
We're gonna get ready to have critical race theory part two.
The NWACP.
Clarence, critical race theory part 2. Me and Von Eric.
Yeah, man, we need to do that. We need to do.
Yeah,
Hopefully, Von Eric could do it, man. Oh,
come
we
on, let's
need
get
to
the
do
good
that
doctor.
again, man. Yeah, we're going to listen to the good doctor. About 10 minutes of the good doctor.
Now, here's the way the exercises go. If you want a left brain lesson plan, it goes like this. Read the definition. Write the definition. Purely left brain. Read it and write it. If you want to go from left, not to right, but left to whole brain, using both sides, read the definition and then draw what you think you just read. Then you'd have to integrate the left and right side of the brain. You know, we have people in this room with BAs, MAs, and PhDs, still drawing with stick figures, still drawing like fourth graders. It's not your fault. When you were in school, they belittle the right side of the brain. Let me give you a homework assignment. I want you to develop a right brain lesson plan and then evaluate it with a right brain instrument. We have got to find ways to meet our children where they are. They have a strength that we have not been using. And I wish we could have a lot more time on this major area of learning styles. But because of our time, we're now down to about 5 or 7 minutes. I want to now move into the best for last. I want to now look at teacher expectations. I want to now talk about you. I'm now quoting from the work of Wilbur Brookover and Ron Edmonds. They wanted to find out what was the major reason for academic achievement. I am proud to report third, not number one, is the student's socio-economic background. Some of us still keep believing, well, how much money is in the home? How many parents are there? It is not number one. It is third on the list. The second is the school per pupil expenditure. Some of us still keep believing, well, what color is the school bus? How thick is the carpet? Well, that is also not number one. How much money is in the school or in the home has never been number one. Number one has never changed. Number one remains teacher expectations. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, 1920, one-room school shack, 40 students. The roof was leaking. Only 2 books, and all 40 students learned. Beyond Piaget, beyond Montessori, beyond Glasser, beyond Goodlad, education boils down to one word and one word only. Do you believe that our children can learn? That seems very simple. The key word is expectations. You know the program. It's called TESSA, Teacher Expectation, Student Achievement. The theory is if you increase this, you increase this. But what we found out was teachers are human. Many teachers lower expectations on 4 factors. Brookover gives those 4 as race, income, gender, and appearance. In other words, many teachers lower their expectations based upon the race of the child, the income of the child, the gender of the child, and how the child looks. One teacher wanted to give me another I want to share with you now. She also said, Juwan, I know it's not right, but I also am affected by the parents show up. In other words, I've noticed I respond differently to certain children if I know the parents are involved. I know it's not correct, but that's exactly what I do. 5 major areas that affect expectations. So again, the program is called TESSA. It goes into your classroom with a video camera, with your peers, with an administrator, trying to see if they can monitor expectations. And you know the 3 strands of TESSA. One is response opportunities. Another one is feedback. And the last one is personal regard. What TESSA attempts to do is to see if you can give all 30 children the same number of opportunities. TESSA believes you learn best when you're involved in the process. Now, this is very hard to do. If we were talking about a white teacher with 30 white children, or a blind teacher with 30 blind children, to give all 30 children the same number of opportunities to respond. TESSA believes this is necessary in order to grow and develop. Now, what many teachers say is, well, Juwanza, the reason why I don't call on Willie is that Willie don't know the answer. Well, see, the problem is when you stop calling on Willie back in October, if you wanted to call on him now in May, he wouldn't know the answer because he believes you're not going to call on him anyway. And then the other one I hear so much of, well, time is so tight. I can't afford to waste time on Willie. Well, see, the problem is that may be correct in the short term, but when we talk about somebody's life that we're now destroying, that could be involved in prison later, in the long term, it's better to call on Willie now than have him taking all that money from us in prison later on. We've got to begin to look at having all the children involved. And then the next area, feedback. 2 students, Willie, the low achiever, and the high achiever. You call on Willie first, he gets the answer wrong. You probably stay with Willie 1 second, then you go on to Ann. She also got the answer wrong, but she's your higher achiever. So you stay with Ann a little long. Come on, Ann, you know it. And they begin to give clue and clue. 5 minutes later, Ann finally comes with the answer. In other words, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. That Ann feels better about herself because we've given her more feedback, more reinforcement. And then, of course, the last one, the one I'm concerned about the most, and that's personal regard. That's attitude. Tessa believes you should touch the children. Let them know that you care. Let them know that you love them. So what happens? We send teachers to Tessa training, and they come back saying, I touched you. I love you. I like you. But the problem is the children know it's still not there. It's not real. This cannot be taught. You either love them or you don't. In Cincinnati or wherever we are in the country, please don't put all the schools in the same category. Ron Evans, before he died, developed the Effective Schools Project. What makes effective schools? There are three major factors. One, they have strong leadership. In other words, please don't think every school in Cincinnati or in Princeton County School District are in the same category. Because first of all, good principals spend very little time in their office. You see, the good ones are instructional leaders. They're involved in the classroom. They're involved in the corridors. In other words, they realize they should be involved in the educational process. They get there early and stay late. Paperwork done early. They get involved with the students throughout the day. Good principals also have workshops for their teachers, especially in the third and fourth quarter, where you begin to have teacher burnout. You don't need me now in August and September. Oh, but in January and March and April, where you have teacher burnout, there's some serious problems there. I know you're not going to like this. I also believe the principals should take their teachers out to lunch, have Teacher of the Month awards. In other words, a good principal is a good coach. They have to find ways to keep their staff motivated. Good schools have strong leadership. Secondly, they have teachers, as I said earlier, who give high expectations. What am I getting at? It has been said that in low achieving schools, the most negative room in the school is the teacher cafeteria. Because in that room, you hear comments like this: you can't help these children. These children can't learn. And you know what happens? For the new teacher just coming in, they get swayed the negative way. But you see, in high achieving school, the principal plants a spy in the teacher cafeteria. They want to know who's making those kind of comments. It's amazing. The good teachers in 201 and 206, you know what they tell me? They don't go to the teacher cafeteria. But the poor ones in 202 and 204, in there all day long. It's amazing how the negative forces do a much better job of organizing than the positive forces. And then the last factor, time on task. There are many schools giving children a lot more time on instruction than other schools. We have to work on these three areas: strong leadership, high expectations, and a lot more time on task. Closing point. There are three kinds of adults in our classrooms: instructors, teachers, and coaches. We have a lot more instructors than we do teachers. Let me define terms. An instructor means just that. I teach chemistry, teach geometry. I got mine, you get yours. And they mean that. They only deal with their subject matter. They don't deal with learning style. They don't deal with motivation, self-esteem. It's not in that job description. I got mine, you get yours. Now, you know what's sad? With a high dropout rate, we have a lot more instructors in the upper grades than we need to. Second group, they not only deal with subject matter, but they also deal with learning style. They realize that children have different learning style. You know what teachers do? They give right brain lesson plans as well. And they use right brain ways to evaluate learning, not just a test, but hands-on learning activities. And then the last group, they not only deal with subject matter, not only deal with learning style, but they also deal with motivation. They also deal with self-esteem. What am I getting at? You see, a coach understands. Here's how instructors do it. Class, turn to page 10. Now, the students probably turn the same level of enthusiasm you said turn to page 10. A coach realizes, I can't teach these children. They first of all don't believe I asked them to offer them. So a coach would close the book and begin to ask, what do your adults tell you? You know what I found out? They say two things. One, get a good education. And the second thing you tell me is to work hard. So then we ask the young people, what do you want to say? Well, get a good education for what? And work hard for who? Now, these to me are two very good questions. If working hard was the solution, Black people should be running the world. Do you know anybody who's worked harder than us? Our children are tired of being the employee. Quit telling them to get a good education, to get a good job. Teach them they can also be employer. But the real issue here, as our time begins to run down, a good education. They watch you with your good education. But many of us work a job. Now, if all the good education got you was a job that you don't like, that means you never end up living for TGIF money. Now, if all you have to do is motivate them with some money, our children are sharp. There are other ways to make this besides a good education, with the four main sources being drugs, sports, music, and crime. You are not going to motivate Black youth if all you have to offer them is money. Closing point, the issue is not money. The issue is talents. You didn't know? I'm at work right now. You see, if you have a job, you watch the clock all day long. But if you have a career, then you know where your talents are. And you love what you do so much, you'd be willing to do it for free. But because you do it so well, you get paid for it. Last question. I want all the instructors to raise their hands. I want all the teachers to raise their hands. I want all the coaches to raise their hands. Very good. Thank you very much. Give yourselves a strong round of applause.
Oh boy, man, the good doc, man. You always dropping dimes, man. Always dropping dimes. Golly. Let me do some shout outs real quick, Rico. Shout out to Hanifa Nyla. Hanifa
Just say Hanifa. Leave it
just
at
say
that.
Queen Hanifa.
Just say Queen Hanifa. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
All right, shout out to Queen Hanifa. All right, y'all. That was a good doctor, man. We're trying to rescue some black boys. And you know what? My motto is always, Rico, 3rd grade. That's where we need to really be intense with black boys, especially jump in there. Black girls, we might be able to go a little slower and not less intense. Like today, this morning, I said, "What time is it?" And my granddaughter, she looked at the clock, said 8:15, right? And I said, "No, baby, we got to learn. We got to teach you how to." We're gonna get you to learn how to tell time this week, right? I got to buy a clock, Rico, a real clock with the hands, right?
That's a start, though.
but what I'm saying is that
we're not going to struggle.
But see what we got to get in early, especially with the black boys, man. Black boys, man, it's just something about them, and they learn so quick and they learn so fast. They have to learn so fast because of their peer groups, because of their environment. They have to learn quick, man. So they're used to trying to picking up information really fast, and so we have to get in there, man, and start training them on this STEM situation. All right, so mathematics and science in particular, man, and that is us as black men. We need to get in there with our own children if we can, right? If you can volunteer with other children, cool. But first step is your own children. First step is your own children. All right. Okay, so Rico. So that is rescuing black boys. Now we got to go to the Black History Minute. My man, hold on. My man Bolo TV just dropped a generous donation on us, man. Generous donation on us. Thank you, brother Bolo TV. Appreciate you. Ain't gonna stop you from that Saturday morning beat down there you got coming, brother. But that's okay. That's okay. We still love you, brother Bolo. If you haven't already subscribed to Bolo TV, go on over to Bolo TV, man. That is a good brother, man. And he will can direct you spiritually. And just if you ain't even on the spiritual tip, just a brother. You just need to talk to a brother that can probably break down your situation, give you at least some good common sense advice. Go on over to Bolo TV, man. Check that brother out, man. That's a good brother. All right, Bolo TV, shout out to you. Let me add you in the book. Let me add you in the book, brother. You know that we're doing the. Did you know we're doing the fund drive, Rico? I don't know if you know that. I mean, I know you gave a lot of money, but did you know that we're doing a fund drive? Rico, are you there?
Huh?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Did you know I asked you, did you know we were doing a fund drive? Did you know we were raising money for
tell
backpacks?
me about it. Tell me about it.
We're raising money for backpacks, man. We're trying to give 45 back. We're trying to buy 48 backpacks to give away 45 to some needy kids, and as well as a laptop in the name of a beautiful sister, Sophia. I put let me see, let me lock you in, Bolo. Yeah, we're gonna give away these backpacks, man.
So you're doing this for needy families and
for needy churns.
Needy. Okay.
Needy
children that may not be getting aid or support from a non-custodial parent.
Even if they are, brother, even if they are, they just the need is there.
But you're in LA, it's a strong likelihood, right?
Yeah, it's a strong likelihood.
It's a strong likelihood. I mean, are we gonna be honest or not?
Yeah, we being honest.
Okay, so it's a very strong, like some white, some black, some Latino, whatever. But it's a strong likelihood that these kids who needed backpacks and school supplies to help them better their education, there's probably a percentage of them that's not getting help from a non-custodial parent for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's probably be a high percentage.
I think you're doing a good thing. I think
probably a high percentage of them are not.
Yeah. Because black fathers don't make excuses. We make a way. Good job, sir.
But
Thank
Rico,
And
you
thank you.
talking
Shout
about us, Rico.
Shout
You talking about us,
out
Rico.
to
See, you there
you,
you go,
Bolo. We
putting us
appreciate
down
your
again.
kind contribution.
You putting
And
us
to the
down,
Butthurt
Rico.
Clan,
Stop putting us down.
to the Butthurt Clan,
All right,
put a little butthurt grease where you need to go. Let's go.
Come on, Rico. Let's not even
Bro,
break out.
let's go. I'm moving
All
on.
right, so anyway, all right, so thanks to Brother Bolo's generous donation, we have that when of course you can cash app or pledge. Brother Clarence, I don't got it right now. Okay, pledge it. You can pledge it to us. But Brother Bolo actually did the cash app for us. And shout out to Brother Bolo and everybody who generously donated. Our cash goal of $3,100, and we raised so far $1,769 thanks to the generous contributions of everybody, and
Yes.
even our Brother Bolo who gave just a few minutes ago. Now, Rico,
Yes,
I
sir.
have a 30. Now, if you look at the sheet I have, it says that the actual goal is $3,064, but I added $36 because I rounded it up to $3,100, right?
Mhm.
Rico, where am I going with the extra $36, man?
Down payment on a BMW?
No,
Oh,
man,
you
I'm going to the
Maserati man.
Maserati dealership, man.
Oh,
I keep trying to tell y'all, man. I'm going to the
You
Maserati dealership. I'm going to the Maserati dealership, man, and
There you go.
you know, maybe I can get a cup of coffee in there or something, man, before they try
Or
to run
maybe
me out
cup
of there,
holder.
right?
A paper cup holder.
Shout out to the good doctor, man. Shout out to the good doctor. All right, man. We got to move on, Rico. We got to move on because Patrice is coming up, man. And we are definitely not going to miss Patrice's maiden
Oh,
voyage.
yeah, sure.
All right, so let's see. Let's
got a
move
job,
on
right?
to
Let's do the
the Black
job.
History Minute. Huh?
Oh, the history. Okay.
We got to do the Black History Minute, man.
Yes, sir.
Got to do the Black History Minute because this is one I didn't even know.
Oh, you
I
didn't
remember
know
you
this?
talking
I knew
about
this
it.
too.
I remember
knew
you
that.
talking about it, but I never.
Second president of Mexico.
Hold on, Rico. Hold on, Rico.
I know about this.
You know, yeah. I remember you talking about it, but I didn't get any more
That's why I was
information
telling
about
somebody it's like almost 2 million Afro Mexicans in Mexico.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I also tell you another important that the next time, Clarence, for the next Black History Month, look up Yanga.
Yanga.
Well, I'm gonna send you Yanga. He's the escaped slave that helped that freed an entire colony. He was so fucking bad that the Spanish said, "Fuck it, let them stay free."
Yeah, leave him alone.
And he had his entire they were and that's where like a lot of them are now. It's called the town of Yanga, where they rebelled and he helped all the all the slaves escape, and they mixed in with the indigenous people, and they never. He was destroying the Spanish army. Every time they tried to come, he was destroying their ass.
Okay,
there's a lot of Black history in Mexico.
Remind me, Rico. I'll look him up. And,
I'm gonna send you the data.
Okay, all right. All right, man. Let's see. Slavery ends in Mexico, September 15th. Mexico's first Black president in slavery. On September 15th.
And he was the second. He's the first Black president, but I think he was the second president of Mexico.
Okay.
So that's how far back it was.
On September 15, 1829, North America's first Black president, Vicente Guerrero, Mexico's second president, ended slavery in Mexico over a quarter of a century before. Now, did you know that Mexico has slavery down there?
Yes.
Okay, I did not.
I did.
Mexico over a quarter of a century before the United States ended slavery. President Guerrero was elected president of Mexico 179 years before its northern neighbor elected Barack Obama as the first Black president of the United States.
Can let me insert one thing? It was so good because he helped. He was the president and the general that helped Mexico get its independence from Spain. Because I don't know if it's in the article, it may not be. And further to that, that's what led to a lot of escaped slaves from Texas and California.
Going over into Mexico, right? Now, I did know a lot of escaped slaves went into Mexico.
And when the white boys came into Mexico to try to get them, the Mexican army ran their ass off.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. The multicultural leader of Mexico was born on August 10th, 1782. Actual birthday may be different in the Texas in Tixtia, Mexico. Guerrero would become a great general, a war hero, a top revolutionary general of the Mexican War of Independence, and the nation's second president. You're right, Rico. as a member of the Liberal Party. After being elected president, Guerrero began his term on April 1st, 1829, and championed the rights of the poor, education for all with public schools, trade and industry development, and land title reforms, which infuriated conservatives of the nation, the rich, right? Many were already angry that a man of his racial heritage was the president. His hallmark action was the national elimination of slavery in Mexico. Unfortunately, the consequences of Guerrero's progressive and humanitarian leadership would spark a violent rebellion led by his conservative vice president Anastasio Bustamante. While he was away from the capital fighting in the south, he was deposed by the Mexico City garrison on December 17, 1829, and later captured, tried by the court martial, and executed by firing squad. Holy smokes! On February 14, 1831. President Guerrero was married to Maria Guadalupe Hernandez, and they had 2 children. Today, he is revered in Mexico as one of the greatest leaders. The state of Guerrero is named after him. Some would say he was a man ahead of his time, but actually he was right. He was the right man at the time for Mexico. So there you go, y'all. There's your Black History Minute. The president of Mexico, the second president of Mexico, was a black man, and he ended slavery in Mexico.
Yep.
Right? But don't take our word for it. Dig
That's
that.
all
Go
true.
check it out
Factually.
for yourself. Or check it out.
Factually true. Long before, yep, they ended slavery, and even though they, it was because of his racial liberation. That was a big part of it. A few other things, but that was the primary cause of it. Because the vice president, he was so even though they ran off
I'll get to it,
Spain,
Patrice.
they still had a lot of Spanish influence. So they wanted independence from Spain, but they still had all that Spain racial bigotry throughout the country. And the good thing about it, he ended slavery, and even though they, like you said, they unfairly captured him and threw a coup and executed him, they never reinstituted slavery. So it's not like they killed him over slavery, and then it's not like if the South had won. If the South had won the
Well, I
Civil
knew they was
War,
gonna get him over those land grants.
right?
I knew.
But if the South had won the Civil War, we'd be slaves today. But thank God they lost. In Mexico, he won. He abolished slavery. They killed him, but they didn't reinstitute slavery. But it was still fucking.
That's a good thing. That's the good thing.
Yep.
That's the good thing. So
they just mistreated them, but they didn't lock. They still mistreated them for 100. Matter of fact, do you realize that Mexico, not until 2015, was the first time on their census that they counted Afro-Mexicans? And we're not talking about people that's mixed. These people are generationally, there's a huge section of Mexico, Costa something, that's the predominant population of Afro-Mexicans that have been there for 500 years. And, they speak, culturally they're Mexican, but genetically and, phenotype, they are Black. And I tell people, I'm like, there are Black people everywhere. They dropped us off everywhere. So their descendants are of West African slaves, just like the Caribbean, just like the U.S. and everywhere else. In South America, they did the same thing in Mexico.
All right, bro. I got to get to the job of the week. Let me get to the job of the week, and then we are out of here, brother. We're gonna open it up to everybody. Let's see. Let me find a job of the week. Oh man, that's what you, Rico. Where's the job of the week? Okay, here's the job of the week. That's not the job of the week. What's the job of the week? Cadet officer. Okay. Let's see. All right, that's better. There we go. All right. This week's job of the week is police cadet officer for the California State University of LA. So Cal State LA needs looking for cadet officers. You can earn up to did I do it? I'm not. You guys are not being able to see that. Let me add this to the screen real quick. Okay, you can be a police officer cadet, and you can make up to $8,000 a month. Let's see, benefits, all this good stuff. Where do I tell you guys to go first? Qualifications. Got to know what you qualify for. You can read all these good things. Oh yeah, they got 401k and all this stuff, and on the job training, all that. But if you don't know what you got to be qualified, how you can qualify, then you're gonna be like, it doesn't matter. It says required qualification: high school diploma or equivalent. Must be 21 at the time of appointment. Must be a citizen. Must pass pre-employment background check. You got to pass the the post. I guess that's the academy. You got to pass the academy. You got a driver's license. You have no felony convictions. Come with interest in working multiculturally. Background check, criminal check. Failure to satisfactory. Okay, so basically, you just got to do a background check and have a high school diploma, no felonies, and you can walk right in there, bro. Walk right in there, 18 years old. Well, not 18-year-old because you got to be 21, I think what they said to be. So I would say 20 years old. You can walk in there and start, getting yourself together. You know what I mean? So hey, this is a job. You don't need to have 2 years of 2 or 3 years of college or 4 years of college. You can walk in here and do something else. So this is just with the Cal State LA, but check in your state. I'm giving you guys ideas. Check in your state where you have you can locate and look for jobs in your state, in your county, in your city. All right. So anyway, check that out, and that's the job of the week. All right, Rico. Rico, are you ready to start taking questions, brother? You ready to start bringing people up? Rico. Oh man, Rico is fading in and out. Rico is fading in and out. But shout out to everybody that joined us today, man. You could be doing anything on your Sunday morning, and we have you over here. Me and the other dinosaur. We got you guys over here talking about laws and child support and different things, whatever we talking about, man. But we're not out here to try to attack anybody, offend anybody, or anything like that. If people take it that way, they take it that way. What can we do? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let me bring up Von Eric. Von Eric.
Hey, my brother. How's everybody doing?
What's going on, big brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Man, where's Rico at?
He's coming. He's coming back, man. He's got some he's got some issues down there. He's got some issues, man. He's got some issues, man. So what is your major issue with Rico, man? What he was talking about, man?
Well, it's a lot of information that's not covered. One is he said y'all said it was more white people on child support because y'all think y'all going by because it's more white people. But how many of them? Let's just say that how many of them are being forced? How many are them in jail because of child support? These numbers doesn't show that. Even in your state, let's go by your state. What about the people that come over the border that gets on assistance and things like that? Do they go after them?
Do they go after who?
The people that come over the border.
For what?
For child support.
They go after everybody for child support. If the woman,
how do you know? Because the numbers doesn't show that the illegals or people that come over the border sign up for cash assistance or SNAP program.
Well, to get that assistance, they have to name somebody as the father so that they can go after that person, or not the father. Let me take that back.
Right.
They have to name somebody as the non-custodial parent.
No,
that's the person they have to go. They're going to go
No,
after.
they don't. Not on the what's name. No, you don't even have to do that to get cash.
In California,
I don't know about California. Well, see, that's it. See, they may do that in California, but I know here. No.
Here they don't have to do anything, right?
Here they can if you even like if the person don't have a job or anything like that, and you don't know where they at, you can still get cash.
Go ahead. What are you debating, Von Eric?
But Von Eric, the government is going to pay it, but they're going to pay it in lieu of somebody being responsible for paying them back. Most cases.
So he
Right,
come
but
up
how
here.
many?
They're not going to get the money.
But this
he
what
come
I'm
up here for a first strike.
this what I'm gonna do. All right, because I'm just going to dip this in the bud. Because before I came up, I was talking to my ex-girlfriend. She's in charge of child support.
Okay.
She just told me she's going to when she get done with the kids, because they watching the movie. But if she gets done before y'all,
she's gonna hit the link.
She's going to come up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to show her because she said she never did that before. But if she doesn't come up today, we're gonna set a date for her to come up and talk about child support, because it's a lot of information that Rico and I would get off Rico was that it's not there, that's not showing. Y'all don't know how many.
I didn't say I showed everything. No, I didn't.
Okay,
but did I show anything inaccurate? I left
you
a lot out
showed documents
in a short period of time.
Yes,
so I agree. It's a lot more.
Right, exactly.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a lot more.
It's a lot more. But Clarence,
Clarence,
Von Eric, I send Clarence, but we just don't have the time for everything. So I just try to do it from a large view. Mm-hmm. I try to do it from a 30,000 foot view, because most of these guys don't want to get into the granular of it anyway. You're right, but I do want her to come. I just want to know, did I say anything inaccurate?
Oh no, I can't do that because you got those documents that you showed.
And
you showed documents that, but they.
I'll send you one from the University of Maryland right now that'll substantiate that document.
Yeah, but
you believe in University of Maryland, right?
Yeah. I know about university, but still, you still would need to know how they collected this data.
Yes.
And what that, and as far as other things that occurs in child support.
But Von Eric, University of Maryland cites that the state of Maryland gives out 97% of what it collects. So it's only keeping 3%, which is a reasonable. Look, the Red Cross keep 3% of the fucking contribution. Every organization that collects millions and billions of dollars keep a certain amount for administrative needs. We agree to that, right? And actually,
what
great.
Right, but the money is coming from the money's coming from
people that pay or contribute.
Okay, but the money's coming from federal government, right?
That's what no. The TANF money comes from the federal government.
Right.
And the rest of it comes from money they collect from people who owe. So the TANF, TANF money, the federal government gives, like the state of Maryland, the federal government gives the state of Maryland a block grant for TANF welfare. Maryland has approximately 200, they got 200,000 on child support caseload. I don't know how many people on welfare. I'm gonna say 100,000. I don't think all of them are on welfare. But if they got 100,000 on welfare, for those 100,000 people, when they sign up for welfare, they sign over their child support back to the state. So when the state goes and collect their child support, a good portion of that money or all of that money goes to pay back the state for the welfare that they gave them. Your
right.
explain that. Mm-hmm. So they get to keep that when they collect that. So when they get that, what they keep, they're keeping money that they already gave somebody. So when people, they didn't give her the money. No, because they gave her money before they finally found your ass. They may not find the dude for a year or two, but they're not going to let that family starve. They're going to give them a check every month. And as that money builds up, when they finally catch you, Von Eric, when they finally catch you running from your kids, then that's going to come after you, and you got to pay us back first.
Right. But did they get the number? Did they give you the number
until you pay us everything back?
Okay, but when you do they show?
How many?
Which I didn't see it. Do they show right
on that link? It shows you the caseload. It shows you that
when people. Yeah, that did show you the caseloads. But see, things. So that's why I said things need to be broken down. Because
they show you down.
I would like to know. I would like to know because you said people are running and.
We know people are running. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know.
But I'm saying it's people that's in jail, right?
Yes.
When they started this program, there was people in jail, right?
Yes.
While their girl, whatever, got on child support, got on welfare, right? So when they got away, they in jail. So they already in the red when they come out.
Okay.
So they already got odds against them as
Yes.
far as getting a job and things
That's
like
correct.
that. Okay.
That's correct.
Now, also, I would like to know how many preachers and pastors that is on this list that does not pay. Also, there's you
Who
might
said
have
preachers
people.
and pastors don't pay? Because preachers and pastors are obligated to pay.
No.
You get no exemption from child support based on what
I show you how she would explain this to you. I show you why, because she would tell me about a real famous preacher because they get paid through 510c3.
Oh, okay.
You can't get them right, and
then
also
they're cheating.
You can't get people. A lot of people,
cheating.
which this would be a lot of people that you say like, let's go for instance like whites. Okay, when you're a contractor,
right? I'm not gonna say you can't cheat the system, but I'm saying you're cheating. You can cheat the system, like the contractor. People say that's what when people say child support fraud. That's what child support fraud is you show a lesser income than what, like you said, an independent contract. Oh, I only made $15,000 this year because you're working under the table. You got 2 sets of books because they just go by the information. Yeah. So a pastor 501(c)(3), I made no money because it's all donations going. So there are certain little spices that you can get into that you can cheat the system the same way people cheat on their taxes. 100%, you are accurate. I'm not even disputing any of that.
Right. Now, and then I would like to break down. They got a
regular job. They get a regular pay stub because they look at your pay stub and say, bro, I don't care what you say. This is what your pay stub say.
Exactly. And I would like to know how many.
And your ex will say it's a formula, a calculation that not nothing personal. Ain't no the woman just come in there and say, no, they look at stubs. They look at receipts and they have a schedule.
They sure do.
So when people go, oh, the woman just go in there and ask for 50,000, like, no, they don't do that. Stop it.
No.
Stop it.
No.
Y'all make
that's it. But see, that's the thing though. I would like to know, which they don't give, how many people as far as race are being enforced it on.
Yeah, I don't know that. That I don't know.
That's the reason why a lot of we would say a lot of African Americans, Black people are complaining. How is it been? It's just like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, look, you see, what's name get charged? Like he's a billionaire, Puffy. Child support. Puff Daddy. Remember he had a child.
Get charged like that. That nigga got money.
But as a billionaire,
well,
he's
don't
not
come
a billionaire.
Von Air, please don't come up here crying about nobody rich.
He's a billionaire.
Von Air, you got me with poor people. Fuck the rich. I'm just sorry. Look, I don't care what. Let me tell you, I don't care what that nigga pay. He all right. He's still drinking his Cristal and flying on his jet and everything else. I ain't discussing rich people. Fuck them. If I sympathize. I sympathize for the working man.
Okay.
Fuck the rich man.
Okay.
You rich. You already winning.
Okay.
I mean, come on, right? I mean, that's fair, right?
But I would like to know how many, because another thing, Rico, when you say pay, because we paying in the system, right? And you saying my tax dollars, pay me my tax dollars back. Yeah. Okay. Do you do the same for corporations that get welfare too?
I would like to. Yeah, I feel the same way about them. My thing is this, Von Air. Here's the funny thing about it. I'm more apt to go after, like, you remember. I don't know if you remember. What was it? A few years back, they did the. I agree with you, Sister Annie. And injustice anywhere is an injustice.
Right. It sure is. Right.
But you know what? I'll tell you what. You know what? And while I do agree with that, I'll say, if I'm gonna pick my battles, child support ain't at the top of the list. Okay, so we have to prioritize, right? Right? Because we have a load of injustices, right?
Right.
And we can't get them all at once.
Right.
Child support is not even child support. I can look over the hill and child support still wouldn't be on my list of shit to complain about first. Because here's the reason being, right? Because I keep coming back to this one fundamental principle. Von Air, do you have any kids?
Yeah, I got one, remember?
Okay, so what I will say this is, for me, and this is my personal belief, and somebody tell me where I'm wrong. I like to say, I believe fathers don't make excuses, fathers make a way. Because for me, my fatherhood journey started July 20th, 1985. And from that day forward, my life was worthless in service of my children. So I don't understand. For me, my concept has always been.
Oh, Rico, you talking about us? Rico, you talking about us? Rico, you can't say that, Rico.
I ain't
Rico,
talking.
you can't say that.
Now let me say this: I ain't talking daddy. I ain't talking man. I ain't talking nothing. I'm talking fathers, because that's a fucking title, and that title means something. And the title of father is to have an unbreakable, which also means unexcusable, duty, obligation, and responsibility to your child, for they would not be here were it not for you. And you have two basic tenets: protection and provision. So anything else, you can miss me with that bullshit. Fuck your depression, fuck everything. Because that's being a father. And I'm not saying that it's not hard. It was hard as a motherfucker. There were days where I thought I was just like, oh God, take me away. But I knew that my children didn't ask for this shit. And I said, I can't. And you know who I learned that from? A single black woman, my mother. When I watched my mother miss meals so we could fucking eat. When I watched my mother be sick, going to work, running a motherfucking fever. When I watched that, when I watched my mother nearly work herself to death for her children, and I said, I will never dishonor my mother by not doing the same thing for my fucking children. And I just don't understand the concept.
But that's the thing.
Not being equally committed. But I get that. I'm different.
That's the right. That's the thing. You're different, and blessed be upon you. Blessed be upon you for having that strength. But I still have it's still people out there does not have that strong strength as you have. And it's a lot of, and especially we still cannot ignore how the system oppress, especially when it becomes Black people. We cannot ignore that. Even though it's people that has made it, like yourself, even me, who has made it. I still don't ignore my homies out there and other homies out there that could not, due to how the system and how they've been mistreated by the system.
Okay, but
do I think that you still should find the strength to carry on? Absolutely. But yeah. I'm not going to be hard and say, hey, put them down, disrespect them and things like that, because it's hard out there.
Okay,
it's hard out there when the system is set up that it's against you. It's just like if a mother, it's mothers out there that have a hard time. Yes. And the system is against them. They have a hard time. And then we don't even go after the government. No, the government had it. The government used to give housing, but yet they don't allow the fathers to stay in the housing with their kids.
Listen, Bonner, and because I'm with you 1,000%. Because this is the concept this is where I keep getting stuck at. That you're right. I've never told any man that the system was easy. That it is hard. It is hard. It's hard and it's fucking a bit unfair. I don't think it's unjust, but I think it's unfair. Only I think it's unbalanced. I think it does. I readily admit it's more favored towards the women, the mother. But I think that men are just as responsible for that as women. We say women, but here's the thing. I know for a fact that they say in most of the cases of child custody is settled between mothers and fathers. And in the vast majority of those cases, the father agreed that the children should live with the mother. Because society, we tell ourselves, men even tell themselves, I'm not saying 100%, we tell ourselves, well, I don't want to, I hear guys all the time, I don't want to take my kids from their mother. Literally, I hear mothers say, I don't want to take my son from his father. But I hear men say, I don't want to take my children from their mother, because I think society doesn't instill in us the ability, and it brainwashed us. Our brains is wired to believe, and I'm not saying that it's true, because I had this conversation with Queen Hanifa just Friday night, and we were discussing it back and forth holistically, and she had some great points. But then as I was telling her, I think as a society, we're all, men and women alike, we all think mothers are better nurturers. Is it true? I don't know. But I think most of us believe it. There is a group of us that don't, but the vast majority of us do. So I just say that in that space that where you said that it is hard. And I think to myself, when I look at every instance of, say, support for a child, I'm like, there's a father, there's a mother, and there's a child, right, Von Eric?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Right.
My interest is always with the child. So when we say it's hard, I think to myself, well, if it's hard on the mother and father, I can imagine what those pressures would be on the child.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Because the parents are supposed to protect them. So if one parent fairly, willingly, or unwillingly, because it could be incarceration, if they're missing, that's less protection for that child. That's less protection and provision. And we know children of a single household fare worse than children of two-parent households. Children from single source of income households fare worse than children from two-parent source. Even if whether the father is in the house or out of the house, if there's a father that's involved, the child fares better. We know that. And we're not going to pretend like financial support doesn't matter. That's the one thing that I push back on, because people want to say, and I get it, the time is important, the involvement is important, the emotion is important. All of that matters, 100%. But we are not going to sit around and pretend like a child does not require any sort of financial support. We are not going to be that dishonest in the conversation. Because people don't want to talk about that. Because that's what child support is, nothing but. Child support doesn't say you got to love them. Because we can't enforce morality. We can't enforce I can't make you love your child, but I can make your ass pay for them. I can't make you love them. You got to do that. I wish we could pass a law and say, I'm going to make Von Eric love him. I can't do that, but I can make you pay to meet her financial needs. That's all it is. Nothing more.
Right.
If I may say about that, the parents, if I may say, the parents that
they bring their feelings into it, and I'm like, this is strictly a logistical. Child support is strictly a logistical financial argument and nothing more. It is not a parental argument. They don't tell you how to parent. They don't tell you how to love. That's none of their business. That's none of their business. You talk to your ex, she's gonna tell you we are strictly for the dollars. Or how you love them, how you get along, how you visit, how you parent. They don't have nothing to do with that shit. Nothing.
Okay.
They don't.
Okay. If I may say, that I think that the child that's living with if the parents are divorcing or something, then at least one of them needs to love the child in order that the child will be with him. If both of them don't love the child, then the child should be with somebody that he loves, somebody that loves them. People, even if you support him, you give him money, children needs love more than money. So it's not a question of paying you to love your child. You as a parent, it's your basic instinct to love your child.
So
it's like
that's true about that.
Let me ask you
let's go to the
Let me ask
finance.
you a question, Pagoda. So do you not believe, because in this country before, you sound like you from somewhere, I don't want to disrespect you, sir.
No, he's from Tel Aviv. He's from Israel.
From Tel Aviv. Okay, but see that you guys probably have a you guys probably have a social safety network.
You can say that.
Do you guys have some sort of support in Tel Aviv?
You breaking out, Rico.
We have. Yeah, you're breaking out a little bit,
Okay.
but yes, we have a social net. Kids are not.
Okay.
Kids are not going to go hungry so easy here.
Right. So what I'm saying is, in the U.S., before child support enforcement, or some years before, we always had some sort of. I think, like Hanifa said, it went back to like maybe the 1920s. There was some. It started out as a very small segment, and it eventually grew into child support enforcement. But for a large number of years in the U.S., if a father, it was usually a father, it was rarely a mother, but if parents, the U.S. had a lot of orphanages. And if we know what an orphanage is, those were, for lack of a better word, children that were just thrown away. Didn't have any other family, no one, or the family couldn't afford to take them in, blah, blah. They used to be all over the U.S. They really did. People tend to like to forget about it. They like to think that America been since 2022, but America has been through some very harsh times coming out of the Great Depression. You had children and women that were being abandoned and were on the streets and things like that. So the social safety network, even the elderly, that's how Social Security got started. It was born out of that because the bottom line, relying on people's charity just wasn't cutting it. And it won't if we get rid of these programs. We'll go back to that. And that's what we don't want to see. So the only thing I'm saying is, yes, while love is important, we realize no matter how important love is, people, because we're talking about even adults who needed financial support. It's like when we hit the Great Depression, people weren't running around loving each other. There were soup kitchens. People needed to eat. There were flop houses. People needed somewhere to stay and a roof over their head. You know, I don't want us to talk in these unrealistic terms, like life-sustaining basic necessities will not be required, and that comes from resources. That's all I'm saying.
Rico, let's be honest. Also, let's look at both sides of the table. You can when you force an enforcement, right, and have it so high that the person and you just, let's say for instance, a person that she had the baby, right, and this person got 10 years, okay, and then he is in the red, 10 years in the red when he gets out. He turned his life around, get a job, like you said.
You talking about somebody coming from incarceration?
Incarceration, turn his life around, get a job, you know. But the system should be set up not to the point that he has to pay. He still got to pay from the 10 years and plus the 10 years back. Come on now, that come on, that's not a good. That's not a good. That system is not good to set up.
And I'm telling you that this is 2022, so 90, 2010. So that's been almost, I want to say it was 1990, Bill Clinton, the Welfare Reform Act. We voted for that. We voted for the repayment back to the federal government for the assistance that's given to these parents. And the repayment is to come from the non-custodial parent. So all of America voted for that.
No, they did.
All of America voted for
that. No, they did. No. When he ran, he did not run on that. He did not run on that platform.
I didn't say he did not. I said
he did not. Yes,
but
they
that
voted
law,
for him.
Let me tell you. Okay. Well, let me tell you this. They voted for all their elected officials in Congress and the Senate. They got together and they codified this law called welfare reform. Newt Gingrich negotiated it with Bill Clinton that for us to pass this, you got to agree on this. They got, you require 218 votes in the House. So they got more than 218 congressmen to vote for welfare reform to say that you're going to pay us back. And they needed, back then, 60 votes in the Senate. They got 60 votes in the Senate to say they're going to pay us back. The law passed. They sent it to Clinton, and he fucking signed it. So when I say we voted for it, we voted for it.
Who benefit? Who lobbied for that? Who lobbied for that?
Since 1990.
Who lobbied for that bill? And who benefited?
Rico. Man, we got it.
Guys, I have a question for you. If a child in the USA is neither of the parents are not capable to keeping him, then it's possible to give the child to one of the brothers of one of the parents, or one of the aunts or cousins. Or to straight up go to being an orphan.
No, they try to give it to a relative first.
They'll try to give it to a relative as best they can, and then if not,
because we had the story, because we had a big issue with some case that was a few years ago, with some child that was given to adoptive parents, but then the aunt want him, and it was because of racism they gave him to the adopted parents before they even considered the aunt. There was a big case about it. They call it, they compare to the case to the Solomon trial, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Anyway,
yeah, no, listen, that's not a. You can we have a lot of different avenues for taking care of children, and that's why these costs are so high, because we spend a lot of money on trying to take care of children. Now, some people have the idea of thinking that, well, it's just that it's not that they're trying to take care of the children; they're trying to just slam, in particular, the fathers. But on paper, it's a non-custodial parent. Like if I have a child with someone and I'm not the custodial parent, meaning that the child doesn't reside with me over 50% of the time, and then as a non-custodial parent, I'm going to be responsible for some of the maintenance and upkeep of that child. So therefore, I'm going to have to pay what they call child support here. I don't know. Do they do that? Do they have something like that in Israel?
yeah,
Okay, so you
yeah,
gotta
they
understand
do.
what we're talking about. They have child support, right? So you're gonna have to pay child support, right, to support your child, right, or children or whatever, right? So if you have to pay the child support, then in some states, I don't know, I can't speak for every state, but in some states, they're going to look for somebody to reimburse that money. It's not going to be just free money that they're going to say, okay, well, here's all these benefits, here's everything, and we're just going to charge it to the taxpayer. Have at it. You want to go have more babies? Have at it. Go ahead. We just got a big money tree out here, and as many babies. They're not the whole part of the reason why they try to get the money, recoup the money, is to incentivize um, the people to try to not do this, not to be in this situation. They used to think, okay, they like the Johnson administration thought that okay, embarrassment would be the one, but to be the thing that slow people down from doing it, but it didn't. As a matter of fact, when people found out they can just get on and it was just free benefits, then why marry? When why have a man or a woman telling me what to do when I can get these benefits? So the system kind of got out of hand. Then by the time they try to start putting some stopgaps into it, it was already out of hand. Now, you got people have a lifestyle of this situation. So now now they're trying to reel it back in. It helps most people. It helps. There are some people that just try to live their life, getting child support and all that. But most people most people they use the money for whatever they need to use it for the children or for whatever they need to use it for. Rico, Rico, go to your neighbor's house. Use your neighbor's Wi-Fi. Rico. All right, hold on. I got to do some shout outs real quick. Let me shout out Sister Eddie. Dropped a dose on us yesterday. Shout out to you, Sister Eddie. Appreciate you, girl. Knowledge and Relationships. Glad to have you in the building. If you haven't already subscribed to Knowledge and Relationships, go on over to Knowledge and Relationships. Subscribe to them. Sister Patrice, OG Patrice is going to be up there. Her debut show today. We're going to wrap this thing up and get on over there. We got to be over there in an hour and a half, Rico. So we got to wrap this up.
Where are you going to be?
We're going to be on a Knowledge and Relationships. We're going to type that into your address bar. I mean your search bar of YouTube.
Maybe somebody can type it in the chat.
Oh yeah, we'll put it. Man, see,
not in the private chat, in the chat,
put it
in
in the
the
link.
comments.
Yeah,
see,
put
I
the
knew
link
smart dudes were in Tel Aviv. I knew there was some smart guys in Tel Aviv. Okay, yeah,
Of
that's what
course
we're
they
gonna
are.
do. We're gonna put it up there, man. We're gonna put it out there, brother. Thank you for that suggestion. Let
Yeah,
me
you
see
know
who else.
what? I want to ask you another thing about
It's a
all
California
the
thing.
about the rights of the kids. If you have, if you get some woman pregnant and you have a deal with her that she is going to take care of the baby and she's not going to ask anything from you, and then later the and later she breaks the deal and she demands money through the court. She can do that in the USA.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
that
and
every
here she
day.
can do it as well. I heard
Yeah.
some case that some woman asked me to help her get her pregnant, and she will not, and I will not need to take care of the child. And no, I'm not
Don't do it
going
in the
to.
U.S. Don't do it in the
Yeah, really,
U.S.
you really gonna get
No,
your
not
head
in
beat
here,
up.
not in the US.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, it
no.
happens
Don't
in
want
the
any.
U.S. And just guys, I'm gonna try to get the link. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to get it. But the name of the act, Von Eric,
Shout
I
out to
just
New
looked it
Growth
up.
also.
The name of the act is the Personal Responsibility and Work Act of 1996 between Newt Gingrich and Bill Clinton that reinforced but that ended the AFDC, which was Assistance to Family Dependent Children's Act, and replaced it with TANF, which was Temporary Assistance to Needy Family. The two distinct differences between people like, well, what's the difference? And why under AFDC, women had no limitation on how long they could stay on welfare. So they were complaining during the 80s and 90s that, the boy turned 17 and right before she get knocked off, she get pregnant again and start the cycle again. TANF started giving them a lifetime limit. That was another key function of welfare reform. See, this was all about people had been, and so you said we didn't run on it. The Republicans who won the House and the Senate, they ran on that shit and they won. They won.
Yeah, they ran on it. Yeah, and
so
then
when they got in, but that's how our system of representation works. You got to get your elected officials to run on issues that's of importance. Same way they get the Roe v. Wade, whatever the case may be, and they run on these issues. Then when they get into Congress, they craft laws. They make these alliances. They build this power base up, and they get this law crafted. And then they get enough votes. All they need is enough votes. They can get enough votes.
But we didn't. You said that we didn't run on.
Well,
we
bottom
didn't
line
put
is,
them
I'm
in
just
office
saying, when I say we, I'm speaking of the American citizenry.
Whether
I voted
for
it or not, or whether you voted it or not, the majority voted for this shit.
Yeah, but you know what happened at that time? Do you know what happened? And they had to.
They were complaining about welfare queens.
They had, and you know why? And I tell you one incident because it happened all over America.
A lot of them,
one incident, I tell you one incident. It was a woman that fell under that, and she was working for Dick Clark's restaurant, and she had to catch 2 buses to go to work because she had to leave the kids in the house by themselves due to that act that was passed. And you know what happened? The house burned down.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
and all the kids because of that bill, because she had to, and it wasn't the money that she was getting on welfare.
Wasn't barely that much, right? It wasn't much of a difference.
Where she was working at was no way near.
Yeah.
She was getting to compensate and where she had, and then they had to, and that's the thing though. That's the thing that you're not. But see, that's the thing you have to put into accountability. Rico, you can't. It's some guy. I understand what you're saying. And there's a lot of guys out there, right? That don't want to pay. That's irresponsible.
And we all know. We know a lot.
There should be.
Me and Clarence know 2 personally. We know 2 personally. I would say everybody in the chat knows somebody personally.
Right, but they should be
personally that we know that's avoiding paying.
I got you, but they should be dealt with. But that doesn't mean that it should be that amount. Those people should affect the other 80% of people. Come on.
Hold on, Von Eric. Whenever you have a mass system like that, the system is always going to take into account the worst case. The system is always going to take in the worst case. When you got a mass system like this, they're going to always go for to treat everybody like the worst case scenario, and then work its way up from there. And you have to prove, you're going to have to prove, just like on your taxes, they're going to take your total income, and then you got to start deducting stuff out of that. If you don't deduct anything, they're just going to tax you at that, whatever your gross income is, right?
And
so same thing with a mass system.
No, the same thing. Yeah, same thing with
Thank
the
you,
mass
Sister
system.
Annie.
But mass system
Thank
has
you, Sister Annie.
mass system has guidelines. Let's just keep it true and keep it real, and don't beat
Right? I
around
mean,
the
because
bush.
like
Wait,
like
wait,
we
wait,
go,
wait, hold up.
for
Let's
example, let me give you
hold.
let
I'm
me
gonna give you. Let me finish this, and then you can
all
go.
right.
Let's keep it real and be honest. When he passed that bill, Lockheed Martin was the one in charge. They lobbied for it. Let's not stop and just not take that into accountability. They did that because they knew they could make billions of dollars. And then the way the guidelines that she's going to come up here and tell you that they have to go by, it hurt the black people in the urban neighborhoods the most. Let's not take those things. We can sit up here and say this person needs to be dealt with, that person needs to be dealt with. We could do that all day, but let's not just ignore what is going on behind those scenes, the political scenes and the agenda they trying to do. We cannot ignore that.
Von Eric, what law in America has not hurt black and brown people the most?
Yeah, I'm like, what
Everyone.
But y'all sitting up here, acting like that is not though.
No,
y'all sitting up here acting like that is not.
No.
Yes.
When do we
Von
say
Eric,
that?
Von Eric, that's where you getting into butt hurt land, okay? You guys, and I'm saying it respectfully, that's the whole point. You guys are hearing that because emotionally you're going into it, because the bottom line is we're telling you what the facts are, and the facts are uncomfortable. And what I agree, I don't disagree with anything you said. I know it all to be true, but I'm saying even knowing it to be true, the facts are still what they are. And we try to come up with mechanisms to say, look, this is what they created, why they created it. This is what they were trying to go after. This is how it was trying to go after. There are going to be some victims of the system. Unfortunately, there always is. This is the best way I try to tell people to try to navigate. So people get offended when I say, look, if you're a man and you go into child support, accept the fact that you're going to lose. Oh, that should not. I'm like, look, goddamn, you can get upset all you want, okay? But it just is what it is. I will tell you the best way to try to mitigate your losses so you don't leave so bitter. Because you can sit there and say, well, if I'm going to lose, I'm not going to go. Okay, well, then you're going to get extra fucked. You're going to get extra fucked with no grease. Don't go. Okay. Don't participate. Don't do anything. And don't come to me crying later on when they abuse your ass. I'm trying to tell you that while the system may not be unfair, there are some things you can do to better position yourself so you don't get completely abused.
Okay.
But because they're so emotional about it,
they
do everything possible. So every time when I hear about these salacious stories about how guys got fucked, I say, you know, give me that whole story from start to finish, and I can tell you everywhere where he failed. Because yes, the system was unfair, but it didn't have to be as bad as it was.
Yes, I show you one good one.
Oftentimes, they don't want to sit there. I'm like, there are things you can do.
But Rico, you're talking about one. You're talking about one. You're talking about one incident. Let's talk about this incident. Remember years ago, I know it happened in Maryland because I knew a few homeboys that you couldn't even go down there to child support and put yourself on child support. You know that, right?
No, but I'll take your word for it for now.
Okay,
I don't know it.
Okay. You could, yes, years ago, you couldn't even go down there. You know, they had to wait till the mother come down there and put you on child support.
I have to look that up, but I'm not going to debate it right now.
Yes, that was, okay, and then they changed it. Okay, so
but you can now, though. Wait a minute, you can now, right? 2022.
Wait a minute, hold up, Rico. See, that's the problem.
You can today. You can go down there and do it today.
Wait a minute, it's changed, but that's the problem, Rico. Look how long it changed, and then when y'all argue these situations, y'all need to bring the whole totality. Don't pick and choose. Hold on, Rico. You talk for a while. What it is, you and Clarence pick and choose. What y'all do is the force, okay? And y'all do not bring the whole totality. Then y'all bring information.
So what did we?
Hold up.
What did we?
Because it's a lot of things that you brought up that the report do not put in. And if you want to make a clear argument, especially with people that has been battling this system that's been disrespected by the system, y'all need to bring that up also. And what y'all do is belittle it. Like, oh, what you need to do is just as what we have to do to right what they got the system. They have the system. This is what we got right now. Yes, this is what we got right now, but you still should tell those people to fight. And y'all too should fight against the system. Instead of saying, oh, deal with it. No. How you think system has changed? Because people fought to get it changed. Not just keep on dealing with it. Yes, I would tell my brother or my sisters to follow the law, but at the same time, I would tell them to fight because it's been big time. This system has been disrespected, and we know has been disrespected the Black community.
Okay. Well,
okay, Vonnie, let me ask some question, Rico.
What we said wrong, that's what I want to know. Specifically, what myself or Clarence said, that's wrong. Or that we told that diminished it or belittled anything. Because the report we just went over the data. That's it. I didn't say anything beyond this tells you this, this tells you this, this tells you this, this tells you this. Mm-hmm. If I go back, did I say anything other than what the breakdown of those categories clearly?
And but that's not my argument. My argument
other than that.
That's not my argument. My argument is to bring things up that the report is not taken.
Okay,
you need to bring those things up.
I can't bring that, but that's not belittling anything if I don't bring everything up. That's just saying I left some things out. So what did we belittle?
Because y'all sitting up here talking, I'm gonna show you. Like when you sit up here and say the father is doing this, the father is doing that, and not taking an accountability of the situations of which the man is being in.
What did I say the father did? Because the only thing
when you say the father, when you say you don't take no excuses and things like that, we know it's hard. You don't take no excuses. That's belittling somebody for saying that he is not responsible. Or have you been in their shoes? Have you walked their walk?
No. No. But I will tell you this, okay? What I'm saying is, and the key word is, I'm not saying anything other than take personal responsibility. And personal responsibility by definition is that every action has a reaction. So whatever I do in life, whatever the outcome of that action is, I am personally responsible for that action, whether it's by accident or whether it's intentional. So if that action leads to bringing a life in this world, I am personally responsible for that life.
Amen.
If I kill somebody, I am personally responsible for that life. So all I'm speaking about is personal responsibility. I'm not talking about what the hardships is. It really doesn't matter because everything is a case-by-case basis. But you have to say, I will never excuse telling anyone, not just me. I tell my daughters, you are responsible for whatever the fuck you do. Don't come crying to me about nothing. If you did it, you are responsible for the outcome of your choices. And I'm just not, I can't move off of that spot. And I don't think that that's demonizing you to say, hey, yeah, it's unfair, it's fucked up, whatever. But you still responsible.
Right. But let me ask you something. Von Braun said most people do pick and choose. That's true. Most people do. And I think that people, instead of picking and chooses, let's look at the whole totality. Miss Kenya said, yes, I've seen brothers get over on the system. Yes, I have. I seen benefits and I seen snacks. Yes, I seen brothers, homies that got always like, yo, I didn't have to pay that much, and they was happy. Yes, but the majority, I seen.
And New Growth, I hold everybody responsible. I know you guys may feel like it only applies, and sometimes I think it does too. But the bottom line is, I don't do personal responsibility just to brother. I hold everybody, black men, black women, white men, white. I don't give a fuck. If you do something to me, I don't give a fuck what color you are. I'm coming after your ass, and you're gonna suffer the consequences of what you did to me. I don't care.
But I just want people to know that it's a political thing behind this agenda.
I agree. There's
That's
politics.
and people are it's companies, corporations that's making money off of this system.
But
Big
Bonner,
time. And then but hold up. Then you talk about where your tax dollars going. What about these corporate what I don't hear the same argument about these corporations and the guidelines they put together so they can make this billions of dollars. I don't see that.
Give an example to one of those corporations, please.
I just did. Lockheed Martin is making billions of dollars off of the system because they take care of the system.
On the tax dollars. I know the oil company.
Okay, I don't know
and they
that company specifically, but okay.
And they get tax breaks.
I know.
That we pay our hard-on tax dollars to.
Right.
I don't see no one going after them.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I don't even have a problem with the tax dollars going to pay TANF for people, for needy families. I don't have a problem with that. All I said was that you didn't vote, I didn't vote, but in 1996, our representation voted a law and signed by the president to say we will be reimbursed.
Shout out to Miss She Said.
But that we, the taxpayers, would be reimbursed for this money. All I did was explain where the theory and the logic behind it came from. So I'm trying to figure out realistically, what the hell did me or Clarence ever say that was wrong just because it's uncomfortable? It's uncomfortable. I get that.
No, it's uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable.
It is.
You know why it's uncomfortable to me? You know why? Because just like I said, you did not bring information or suggest information that is not there. When you do that, what you're doing is being Bob. And I'm gonna let Soapbox talk because I've been
please.
We didn't say anything untrue, did we?
That's not the argument, Rico. That's not the argument. I answered that before. That is not the argument. The argument is information that you didn't bring up. That's the argument. It's not the argument
let's hey y'all, let's put a pin in that. Let's let intellectual Soapbox get up here and say his little spiel. What's going on?
Family? What's up, man? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Man, y'all cooking today, baby. Woo! Hey, shout out to Mr. She Said. Hashtag media do Mr. He Said.
Good evening, Mr.
Whenever you got Rico, man, you got dust kicking up all around you, man.
Man, I know. And Nia, what's going on? MC, I see you in the building. Mr. Brian, I see you in the building. Vagoda, I think that's the way you pronounce your name. Good to see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mr. Rico, what's going on? Hey, what up, big dog? You know what I mean? And bro Clarence, what's going on, man? Look, man, I think look, I'll say this, man. I think overall the biggest thing is that we got to see that the person that's going to suffer the most if things are not handled correctly is the kids. That's what's going to suffer the most. So, and I think a lot of times men and women both just need to choose wisely, man. You got to choose wisely. And I think nowadays, back in the 70s and 80s, Mr. Clarence and when Mr. Rico was coming up, y'all was different. You know what I mean? Y'all didn't really have as much information as we had. Y'all didn't have as much resources, or as many opportunities, right? Because, being a person, who's a person of color, opportunities was slim. You know what I'm saying? And you had to be qualified to really get up in there. You know what I'm saying? So now that we have a lot more, capability, a lot more technology, a lot more resources, a lot more money coming our way. The only problem is we still don't really own anything. That's really the biggest problem. We don't have no wealth. That's really the biggest problem. We need to start really getting our wealth up and start to own things and really help each other. You know what I'm saying? And stop being afraid to give handouts and stop being afraid to really help each other to get better. We got to get out that. We got to get out that mentality. We got to get out of that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you have to give something to get something. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you give something, sometimes it ain't gonna come back with that one person. Sometimes that one person gonna screw you over. I'm sorry, that's life. It's just a fact. But you can't forget your mission. Your mission is to make sure that your people is taken care of. And you're gonna make sure that mission is complete, no matter what. You know what I mean? Salute the lady Andrea. See her in the building too.
Shout out to Andrea. Glad to have you in the building, sis.
You know what I mean? I'll just say this though. At the end of the day, because we have so many things, so much information, so many things in our toolbox nowadays, there's no reason that we should be having, kids that are suffering, There's no reason that we should be having so many kids that we can't take care of, both men and women, both. I put this on both the men and the women. I don't just put it on the men. I just don't put it on women. I put it on both. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are some outliners where there's some people who may not have certain information or may not have certain tools. But those are very, very, very small, minute groups. Most people have a laptop. Most people have different resources. Most people have a smartphone. A lot of people are running around with smartphones that are $2,000, $3,000 type of dollars, and they ain't never worked a day in their life ever. And they walking around with the highest end smartphone ever. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, people have the resources available. Just that a lot of times, you know, people don't want to make the best decisions. A lot of times, the man just want to run up in there raw. There's sometimes, like I have a sibling that's like this. Sometimes, you know, they want to be with somebody who's not the best for them. You know what I mean? And I have cousins like that. They want to be with men that ain't the best for them. And this man is showing you they're not the best for you. Let me put this out there, ladies, okay? And I'm not trying to be hard on the brothers. I'm not trying to come at none of our brothers. I'm just being completely frank. If a man is willing to put a baby in you and he's not willing to marry you, he's not the man for you. I'm just gonna say it straight up. Because if a man puts a baby in anybody, he's gonna be willing to take that next step. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be willing to take the next step, guaranteed. And if he ain't willing to do that,
Excuse me, but
hold on. Let me finish, brother. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You know, if a man doesn't want to do that and assume responsibility, then you basically just convenient box. You convenient pussy. I'm just gonna say it. That's all you are. And he just knocked you down because you're there. And that's just really what it is. You know what I'm saying? If a man don't want to commit to you and he's willing to have child after child with you, you know what I mean? He's still not willing to commit. Then he's not taking you seriously, sisters. So y'all got to see that. And that's my take on it. Anybody could give me pushback. It's all good. You know what I mean? I'm gonna step back real quick.
you know, bro, my parents never married, so well, like I said, my parents never married, and they had me. So you know, my dad wasn't just for for the fun and then go. He stayed and take care of me. So you know, not all the time they need to marry to have a family. Usually they marry, but still, you know, you have couples that, you have situations that one of the parents is gay and he's having a child with a straight woman so that he will have children and she will have kids. You know, there's not every relationship is through marriage.
And even when I had my contracting company, child support used to send me letters, and to take out for my employees, but I couldn't because they was 1099, and you don't take out on 1099s. Mm-hmm. So, and it's a lot of companies out there that put the less than because they know they know what child support doing. They know how corrupt child support is. Not just the company that I worked at, I was contracted. They did this for their employees because they know how corrupt the child support system is.
So, can I ask you a question, Von Eric?
Doesn't anyone has something to say about what I said?
About what was your question, Vagoda?
No, I didn't ask a question. I answered to the guy that to the soapbox. About what he said that if somebody gets the woman pregnant and doesn't marry her is not relatable. Is not a person that how we say it exactly. He's not a person that's going to stick around for the children. And in my specific case, my parents never married to each other.
But Vagoda, in that instance,
he didn't say that.
No. But even if he did say that, and I agree with what you're saying about your parents sticking around, we do know that there are examples. I don't think he's saying that nobody will ever stick around. We're just saying that that's not likely to happen because most couples who don't marry don't stay together.
Yeah, in my case, they broke up, but still.
I'm saying here in the U.S., half the marriages break up, period. And people who don't marry, definitely, I don't know of a lot of 20, 30-year relationships where nobody didn't get married.
Yeah.
That just usually doesn't happen. There's a few, and maybe your parents is that that outlier that was able to do it. They loved each other. That marriage didn't matter. But most people in America, if you ain't a husband, I mean, hell, you'd be lucky to get your husband or wife to stick around for 20 years in America. So if it's not a husband, it makes it too easy for people to walk away. So I think that's what he was speaking to. That if you with a man that's not willing to make you his wife, that 90% of them don't value you as much as you think they do. And I have to agree with that. So no
I'm just
pushing.
thinking, brother Rico, let me say this real quick. Because I don't have a lot of time. Listen, I'm speaking to the pure nature of men, okay? In my perspective, okay? Look, as men, we know there's certain women that we get with that we just getting with just to get with, right? We just getting with them just to get to the getting, and that's it. We ain't trying to wife them up. We just want to get to what we need to get to, and then after that, we're going home and we're gonna go do whatever we have to do after that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we have oops babies. Now, respectfully, Vagoda, your parents, and your dad and your mom, they took care of each other, and that's respectable. Salute to them and salute to you. You know what I mean? But for
Take care
most
of me.
cases, yeah, exactly. Salute to both of y'all, to all of y'all. Salute to your whole family. Now, listen, what I'm saying is that this, right? For the most part, for the most part, if a man is having a child with a woman and he is not willing to try to marry or commit to her, he's not taking her seriously. He's just not. That's my estimation. That's my perspective as a man. I may be that, and that's just, like I said, that's just my perspective. I'm not saying that's every man, but that's just my perspective, and that's what I see as a man. That's what I see from men in my family, men that I know. You know what I mean? Just men across the board. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been, I've talked to men in all different various forms, and in lounges and barbershops everywhere, and and the number one thing is, you know what I mean? When they find out that a woman is pregnant that they don't really want to commit to, they give the sad face. They are sad. They are upset. They are not happy about this. You know what I mean? They start fumbling and mumbling and thinking of different things, and maybe the baby ain't theirs and all types of stuff. You know what I mean? But if it's a woman that he wants to commit to, he's happy. He's overjoyed. He's thinking about, man, I need to marry this woman. I need to talk to her family. I need to talk to her fathers and her brothers and everybody else. He's trying to make them next steps. If he ain't trying to make them next steps, he ain't taking you seriously. I'm just keeping a G. You know what I mean? That's just my perspective. So yeah.
I can definitely relate to what you're saying.
Go ahead, Brother Clarence, because you had something to say. I seen that you was trying to say something.
I actually have a question for you, Von Eric. And it'll be the same question I was asking a bunch of other gentlemen.
Me too.
I really didn't.
Clarence.
Huh?
I got a question too after you for Von Eric.
Okay. All right. My question is, and I keep asking this question of the people that say that the system is corrupt. What should we replace it with? Do you have a replacement situation? I mean, would you rather have a corrupt system or no system, or just, hey, get it how you get it? What is a better alternative than what we got right now? And why aren't men advocating for that? Why don't we see a movement advocating for it?
First of all, advocating for who? Black people? We see how much advocation that we've been doing and not get results. That's one. Second, let's get the end. Like I said before, let's get the NAACP, who has the best lawyers in the country, behind these doggone the Black Caucus on Capitol Hill. Let's get them movement. Let's not. Why are we still? If we're going to fight anything that needs to be changed, it was by fight, and people fought. But
Agreed.
If you're going to sit up, if you're going to sit up here and say, well, Vaughn, what we should do, okay, I'm telling you, get in the NAACP's butt, get into the National Black Network butt, get into the Black International Law butt, get into them, and at the same time, make sure our brothers and sisters are doing right as far as how the system is. Teach them Let's just not just complain on them. Let's teach them what
Agreed.
they need to do as far as how the what is here they can maneuver and try to make sure it comes in their favor, or at least
That's all me and Rico doing.
No, y'all
That's
not.
all we trying to do.
No, y'all not.
We
No.
not.
And I'm
How
telling
are we
and
not,
I'm telling you the truth, because you and Rico, right? This ain't nothing against y'all. Y'all do more complaining instead of coming with a common ground. A common ground, and make sure that y'all bring up of the things that is against. We know this. Let's not just put that aside. Let's make sure we bring up things and know that isn't a political agenda for the system is. We know this. Lockheed Martin made billions of dollars.
Okay,
Why would Lockheed Martin, who is a defense contractor, be in charge of child support? Why can't people I'm done, right?
Okay.
Just for a couple more minutes and I'll be done. It's to the point that me and you, right? And there's a solution. Why can't you, Rico, put a corporation together, go to the government and take care of the contract of child support?
Maybe so.
Okay, so that's the solution. Form a corporation, right?
But why can't you and a bunch of other dudes that's actually
because first of all, because I don't complain. I don't complain to my brothers.
Complaining either.
Y'all
we're
is.
Not no, we're not. Well, okay. Let me. Rico will tell you when he comes back, but I haven't heard Rico complain about it. Only thing we're saying is, if this is the system, if those other guys are complaining about it, we're saying instead of complaining about it, understand where you're at, what's going on, and until you can find something else, this is what's on the table. This is the best way you can get your children. This is the best way of paying the least amount. This is the best way. That's all we saying. We're not complaining about nothing. Neither one of us are dealing with child support. We're just
you know what people think that when you say that they're gonna say, well, we should have did that with slavery. Well, since we enslaved, we might as well just keep on going where we're going until we get free. That's basically what you're saying,
brother. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. First, you accused me of complaining about it. I told you that we're not complaining about it. Now you saying that I would want slavery to continue. Come on, brother.
You complaining about people. You're complaining about people complaining.
We're not complaining about anybody complaining. You can do what you want. We're just telling people that want their children, if they in the unfortunate situation where they have to deal with the child support court, hey, this is probably the best way if you see that coming, this is what you should probably do to make the impact. You're going to get hit no matter what, but at least to make the impact at least amount as possible. That's all we saying. Know your state. If you see it coming, you got he just gave you a website
Clarence,
where you can go and all of those, wait a minute, hold on,
can I ask
I've been
a question?
letting you talk. All of those sites have calculators for child support. Now, if you don't like how child support is going in your state, then you can go to your congressmen or your legislators, and you can try to lobby for the situation. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying complaining about it ain't gonna change it. I'm saying if you let's say example, there's me and there's you. I'm saying, and a guy like Vagoda comes to us and say, hey, bro, I just got here to the US, but now somebody trying to get me paid child support. What should I do? I'm saying this is what you should do. Do A, B, C, and D. But if you say to him, child support system is corrupt, it's just corrupt. Are you giving him any real, or you say to him, go to jail. Don't pay it. Just go to jail.
No,
right?
I don't say that.
You giving him,
I don't want to go to jail.
No, I don't say that.
I'm saying, Von Eric, which one of us is actually giving him solutions to try to actually get something productive done? Me, I'm not complaining about the situation. I'm saying, okay, I accept that this is the reality on the table. It needs to change. Okay, when we get enough people to get up that get frustrated enough with it to change it, then because in American politics works off of numbers and money. Okay, when you get enough numbers together or more and or money, then people start listening to you. Right now, because of the numbers, you don't have enough people that are affected by the child support situation. so that they're gonna just go out to the street in mass. You got
Now,
people that
if
affect
somebody complain, I don't say, I don't say, well, this is the no. Let's go to someone that knows the ins and out of the system, which I just like I said last time, it's a lawyer, and right here in DC, right now, years ago, we knew people. You go if the system is broken, it's always a way to get things done, and if only thing you had to do is take effort. I don't say, well, this is what you got now. I say, because that's just going to piss a person off, and then he won't search. He won't
That's
look.
only going to piss a person off that's looking at it emotionally. If you looking at it logically,
that's
you're going to look at it and say,
everybody
okay.
doesn't look at things logically, Brother Clarence. And if
I
someone,
know, but the state does.
But
the state
listen,
looks
if
at it
someone
logically.
if someone look at things logically, okay, they will pick it up, they will figure it out. I'm talking about the people that's looking at things emotionally. They still my brothers. Logic and emotionally, they still my brothers. So I'm going to tell them to get as far as look for what they need to do to go in and out to maneuver so they can come out on a better end of. No, my brother, what you're saying, no, you did not. No, you're saying just go. You're saying just go with the flow.
I didn't say stay in the house so you stay in the house so that if you can avoid, if you can help it, stay there so you can be closer to your so you make it a court, make a decision instead of, because if you leave, you're going to automatically be put behind. You automatically paying catch up if you leave.
No.
Now, if you
I'm
sometimes you're in a situation where you gotta go because it's going to be violent. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about a situation where it's just a difference of opinion. And you just frustrated with the person, and you decide, hey, I'm just gonna leave just because I'm frustrated with this person. That's not gonna work. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, I'm not saying that's no. We not, but that's not saying, oh, just keep. No, I'm not saying that. That didn't even come out my mouth to tell a person not to do, because it'll make the situation even worse.
But you're saying we are. You're saying we're not telling people what to do, and we are.
You're telling the people to go with the flow.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you to do what I'm telling you to do the best you can with what's on the table now. That's what I'm telling you to do. And then if you can, try to do something, try to get that off the table. But until it gets off the table, because anything else you do, see, I'm with the revolution and all that. I'm just not with the kids paying the price for it. And that, in my opinion, that's who's going to pay the price for this revolution that everybody's talking about if it's not done properly. If it's not done, if it's done improperly, or just a bunch of people get mad and say, F it, we're going to just go to jail. And then, or we're just not going to pay the child support. Well, the children are not going to get the money. Who's going to pay the price for it?
I didn't say nothing like that. That was somebody else.
But I'm saying, you're saying that we're not giving that. That's
the children are the last one that's supposed to pay those kind of things. So if you want to have a revolution, then it's for the children, not against the children.
Right, that's true. That's true. I see. Yeah, that's true. But go ahead, Rico.
The children are the future,
That's true.
So
yeah,
future.
That is true.
Okay, can I ask my question now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
Because I got two questions, right? And I'm gonna say this, Von Eric. I love the shit out of you and New Growth, but y'all hard-headed as hell. Y'all hear what y'all want to hear.
So are you. So are you.
So are you. They want to hear.
So
are you. Like, damn, I don't remember saying nothing. Look, with all due respect and love, brother, I do got two questions I wanted to ask you. Because you said something about when you had your company, and it's true with their 1099 employees, and everybody worked the system so that the guy pays less.
Right.
What I'm hearing is, I'm always hearing in these conversations the concern for the man who's unfairly treated, but I don't hear that 4-hour comedy Friday night, the previous conversation over here. I'm like, will somebody say something about the fucking child?
They getting the money.
Yeah, but every time look.
But if the man don't, wait a minute, Rico, in the revolution, the child is not.
We're not talking about revolution. Why are you bringing that up? He's talking about when, as far as if they cheat, as far as the 1099 or if they pay less, they still get money.
But Von Eric, in the 1099. So now, what you're doing as an employer, you're deciding, okay, I'm gonna adjust this man's income to a level to what I think he needs to be paying, not the state. Because if you show the true amount that the man makes, the state takes all that into consideration. The man cries, "Oh, it's unfair! It's unfair." It might be. It might not be. I don't know.
Right.
We want to find out from your ex-girlfriend who will give us the formula, and we'll use Maryland as an example because that's better. Because dudes, this is the part. Remember, you came into this conversation talking that fucking Diddy talk, right? Because this is what the men in the child support argument do. They always go to these rich people and use them as an example, as if somehow, in some way, that has anything to do with their ass. I don't give a fuck what Dr. Dre, Diddy, no other man. I'm like, what? We can't argue from that position because do you know what the average child support payment a month is, Von Eric? Nationwide?
No.
Hold on 1 second, sis.
It's less than $400 a month.
I can't hear you. Okay. What you say now?
Average child support payment.
What is that? Oh, you mean the tattoo guy? He's upstairs. He's on that side.
Mute, Clarence. Hey, Clarence, you
can
go
take the stairs or you can take an
Clarence,
elevator.
you're not muted. Hey, Clarence, you wasn't muted, Clarence.
Clarence, we heard about that drug deal you just
You heard
did.
about that. You heard about that deal. That side deal.
They're looking for the tattoo. They're looking for the tattoo guy.
But here's the deal, though, Von Eric. The average monthly child support payment in the U.S. is $400 a month.
Okay.
The average. So that's just saying the greater percentage. Now there are guys paying $2,000. The guy on Friday said he paid $3,900. That's if your income is at a certain level, you're going to pay a certain level. Most dudes ain't paying. 90% of these black dudes that you talking about, they're not paying anything like that because their income isn't anything like that, and that's fine. But all I'm saying is when you and I don't blame you, but then I also question, like, what if you make a guy pay less than what he should be?
Don't be laughing at me.
You got 3 kids and maybe he should be paying $600 a month, but you got him paying $200 a month because he complained. So now his kids are being cheated out of.
No, they're not.
If the formula says he should be paying $600 on his, if say for example, you're paying the guy $40,000 a year, but he's 1099, and you tell him you do a 1099 saying you paying them $20,000. Now that's child support fraud because he's reporting less income than what he's actually making, which is lowering his obligation to what he has to pay. Your ex-girlfriend's gonna come here and explain that, okay?
No. That's not what went on.
Okay, but that's what I was saying.
It was a play. It was the play. It was the monthly thing. What they did when it came to the taxes, okay, go ahead and take it.
Yeah, I get that. But then
they disallowed it because you can't, when you file it, either they don't file it, that was on them, or they will file it and just go ahead and take it.
Right. And I get that.
Go ahead and take it.
Right. And I thought you meant as far as the income reporting requirement, because that's the vast majority of child support fraud, which is
I can't. No.
Which is the direct definition of child support fraud is people reporting less income than what they actually make, so they don't have to pay that.
No, I can't do. No, I couldn't do. That's not. My CPA would allow me. My CPA would allow me to do that. I can't do that. Then I'll be breaking the law. So I can't do that.
And then the only other thing, again, like I said, is wait a minute. First of all, I didn't hear Clarence did ask you a question. Did he answer it? What are we going to replace it with?
No.
I did answer it. I did answer it.
No,
I answered with
I didn't hear. I didn't hear, Von Eric. I didn't hear.
I did answer. I said first of all, you go to the NWCP.
Whoa. We're replacing the system.
Right. You go to the NWACP to sit down and come. Hold up. Sit down, come up with a solution that they can take to Congress, and that's one. Then you can form your own corporation. Why is Lockheed Martin and these big corporations get these guaranteed contracts? Why can't you?
Even if I get the contract, I got a contract for the same system. That's I'm asking you. You saying the system is corrupt? Okay,
no.
This system out and throw it away. And what are we going to replace it with? That's what I asked.
You come up with a system that benefits that it won't be hard on the person when it comes to rigs and how much they implement to put in. You come up with a new system, just like they came up with a system to oppress the people. They can come up with a system to not oppress.
So the people that came up, we're going to trust the people that came up with the system that we got installed now to come up with a new and improved system.
You trusted before.
I didn't revoke it. I'm just saying
you did trust it. You say keep on with them, so you trusted it. You said keep on with it, so you trusted the system.
No, not me, brother. You're the one that wants to replace it. So I'm saying to you, what do you want to replace it with?
So you don't want to replace it.
I'm saying it needs to be fixed, but I'm saying let's replace it. Listen. I want to replace it, but I want to replace it with something. I don't want to just remove it and just have it.
I never said that. I never said.
So I'm asking you directly. I'm asking you directly. If just say I don't know what we should replace it with.
No, I'm not going to say. I'm not. You can't.
But you,
Clarence,
but
you
that's
can't.
what you're
Wait a minute, Clarence. Am you coming to me? Am I a legislator that writes laws? No. But I'm telling you what you can do. So the people that does write the laws to get it changed.
You're negating the political aspect of dealing with the NAACP and all these people that get money from the federal government. You're negating that. They have a political tie to the people that wrote the system that you trying to say you oppressed them.
And that's a problem.
Wait a minute, listen. That system is a little bit of that money is coming off, siphoning off to the NAACP, to the ACLU. So they may not be as quick to fight your battle for you. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to have to start a whole new movement to fight this battle to change it. Now, I'm not even talking about all that. All I'm saying to you is, if we take this system out, you have to admit that you do not have anything in mind to replace it, right?
Brother Clarence, just because when the system was broken before, didn't the lobbyist people put in the system what you have today? So you keep on saying
there's always been something. There's always been something. It just wasn't as broad as it is now.
Clarence. We could keep some of the things still there and change the other things that is oppressing them.
That's what me and Rico saying.
Clarence, let me ask you.
No, you're not saying. Y'all saying
we are. Y'all hearing what you want to hear.
You're hearing what you want to hear.
You keep on. Every time I say something, you'll say. This is the second time you did that. When I say something, you say that's what you're saying. Y'all did not say that. Y'all did not. Y'all did not have no solution. Y'all said keep on going with y'all going. You keep on saying every time I say something that here's a solution, you say, well, that's what we said.
So if we're saying this is the best way to get your children because this is what's on the table, what are you saying? Are you saying don't pay it? What's the other option?
No, I'm not saying not to pay it.
Okay, then you saying
I'm saying no. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying not to.
You're saying to protest? Maybe
I'm saying yes. I'm saying to protest
and pay.
Go to the people because you may not have to pay.
We're saying the same thing.
No, you did not. Y'all did not say go to no lawyer. Y'all did not say go to no. When did you say go to a lawyer?
Clarence,
when did you say that?
Hold up, Clarence. Von Eric. While you're protesting, listen, Von Eric. Your protest is going to take 6 months to a year because change doesn't happen overnight. We agree, right?
Yeah.
So while you're doing that, are you paying? Yes or no?
If they decide not to
they didn't stop it. Are you paying?
It depends if the movement caused for not being paid, then that's what the movement caused for not being paid. So the system can change.
So you're saying,
and one thing, because they don't pay, that doesn't mean the system. That doesn't mean the people ain't gonna get their money.
So who's giving them the money? How they getting the money?
Because the money is generated by the federal government.
No, you gotta pay it. You gotta pay it.
Listen.
We collected from you.
Does our tax dollar stop coming in?
No, but we're collecting from you. That's not child support.
Rico, if someone protests, do they stop paying taxes?
Yes, but taxes do not go to child support, Von Eric.
That's it. You just said it did.
No, oh my God.
I guarantee you, your tax dollars that you pay to the federal government, they use that to fund child support.
No, I said they repay when they collect.
No, when they give the money out for that comes from the federal
payments they collected from people.
Thank you.
Tax money.
Wait a minute. Where they get it from the people? They get the tax dollars from the people.
No, this is from garnishments and payments.
No, that is not true.
Oh my God! How soon can you get your ex here? How soon can you get your ex here? Please
okay, I guarantee you.
How soon can you get her here? And you know what, Von Eric, I'm going to tell you, we're not going to get rid of this stream. So what you're saying is being recorded. So how soon can you get your ex here who works for child support enforcement, who will tell you where their proceeds come from?
Let me see if she. No, okay. She ain't get back. She ain't get back.
I got one other question to ask you, sir.
Hold up.
Okay,
I just want to make sure. Hold up, because I want to make sure, because Lockheed Martin is not going to be in charge of something if they not getting paid the right way. They getting paid.
You keep bringing up Lockheed Martin.
Hold up. And she will tell you this. Okay. For them to pay it out, right? For this goes to child support, and when it comes to when you get welfare, it all comes from the federal government through tax dollars.
Welfare comes from the federal government, not child support.
Okay,
child support comes from the non-custodial parent.
Yes.
Okay, pull it up that all child support.
In the end of the day, it's come from your money.
Wait, Bonnie, you don't have to pull it up. I mean, that's just common sense. If you're paying child support, that money, most of that money is going to go into some other kind of agreement. Let me finish this, Rico. Let me finish this. Unless there's some other kind of agreement where you sign it off, a portion of it off to something else that you're repaying the federal government for, or the state for. The child support, that's going to the child. That's going to the
child support. Okay, tell me this. If the people who don't pay child support, who is paying it?
Nobody. They don't get it.
That's our point.
They don't get 30% of people who order child support receive nothing.
Listen.
That's according to the CDC.
Listen. Listen to what. Listen. Okay.
Shout out to my.
You talking about? Okay.
When you go on, hold up.
This is what I'm saying.
Von Eric.
No, we have a lady in the channel.
You are a very intelligent brother.
Welcome.
We got an even intelligent sister as well. She's just as intelligent as you, and she's got some information I think she's gonna drop on us. Shout out to you, Sister Annie. How you doing?
Hey, now you know, Brother Clarence, I'm only doing this because of this subject. Because I told you I would.
Thank you, sister.
We can go get you up here any way we can. Hey. Shout out to Von Eric. Any way we can get you up here.
Hey, I don't have enough gin for him today.
And I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this, but Vlogada?
You can call me V in short.
Okay.
Oh, V. Okay, well, you didn't tell us that.
That's old Abe Vigoda from
Barney Miller.
Barney Miller, yeah. Go ahead.
I guess I just have a question for Von Eric. First, I really don't see Brother Clarence and Rico as complaining, but I'm perfectly fine that your opinion is different from mine. I don't see it that way, especially when I listen to all his streams and how much information that he's putting out to educate everyone and just to make them better and stronger people. So I guess my question is to you and also to other people listening, definitely throw it in the chat because I'm really interested in the answers or suggestions. I think that we all agree that the system needs a lot of work. I don't know if I necessarily would use the word corrupt, but that could be my ignorance also, because I do know and I see how child support is helping people around me. So I know that it benefits children. And as much as in a relationship, if something doesn't work, if someone is upset because maybe one person is making more than the other or can contribute more than the other, the reality is that the child needs food, needs a place to stay. And, sometimes I'll hear people say, oh, well, the mother doesn't need that much. Well, I would hope that a mother that has a child is trying to get a home that has space where they could have their own room. So if a mother was living by herself, she would just need to have 1 bedroom. If she has a child, then she would have 2. So there would need to be some accommodation for that extra financial burden that she would have because she has to get another bedroom. So I would think that both parents would want to be helpful in making sure that their child has their own room, has their own privacy. So one of the things that I have just not understood is, okay, if we say that the system is not working, and we all agree to that, to keep saying, I'm not saying specifically you, Von Eric, but what changes could we make? I made some comments in the chat. They may not work, but I would say the overseers may need to change. The accounting process needs to change. Maybe they have like with the government where they have the special counsel when they're doing things with the president. Maybe a special counsel of actual fathers and mothers that can actually lend their experiences, not just the ones where it is working for, but the ones where, let's say I like saying non-custodial because I don't want to make it male, female, or mother, father, because then it could kind of make the conversation more tense. But the non-custodial parent, and what woes are they having? So I'm thinking that if we get more people involved that are actually experiencing the negative backlash of the system, if they could have a louder voice. I hear a lot of men on the panels and they talk about, how unfair the system is. And I'm not watering down their experience. But, there's a lot of lawyers on these panels. There's a lot of accountants on these panels. How about them, people that maybe could run for office that can help advocate and make changes? So I guess sometimes I'll hear conversations and I'm kind of solution driven. So I like to hear something that we can attach ourselves to have growth. Because really, honestly, all I'm thinking about when I hear this is children. Are they being fed? Is the mother or non-custodial parent or the custodial parent, are they stressed and depressed because they're not able to take care of their child? What are they doing now mentally when they're trying to rear that child because they're stressed with the finances?
I can put some, if I may say, I have suggestions for the audience here. If the woman is suspected that she's is being suspected of not take care of the child with the money that she gets from the father, then that the father always can sue for court that the child will be in his watch and not the watch of the woman. Or maybe you can send somebody from child services to look at what's going on in there.
Yeah, you can do the same
I'm
thing here.
sorry, I'm sorry, I don't necessarily agree with that. Monitoring what somebody does with their money. Like, just as a sidebar, when I go out and if I see a person that's homeless, and I hear people say, oh, well, don't give them their money because they're going to get something to drink. You know what? If that person that has to ravage through a trash can wants to go get something to drink, I don't care what they do with the $2 I give them. Okay, so if a custodial parent is one day you see her go out and get her hair done, if she struggled for that whole month to take care of her child with no financial assistance, and then finally gets it at the end of the month, and she wants to go get her hair done because she through the whole month has not been doing anything with her hair, I'm not going to be mad that she takes the money and does that. Is that right? Maybe not technically, but for her sanity, I say go do it.
Family, hold on. May I say something?
What I'm trying to
I want to answer her question real quick. But I've been saying, I said this as far as the NWC. I said the NWACP, right? As far as you could go in there, which they got accountants, lawyers, law changers there. That's one. Second, I said about the woman here. I said the woman here. The child. It's a lawyer here, right? I said this last time on the stream. She was on the Ghetto Boys channel. If you want to go look at her, she And there's another woman who wrote a book of the corruption of child support. And you can figure out things in that book. If you need it, I can find that archive for you if you want it. And she wrote a book. A woman wrote a book about the corruption of the child support. Also, let me get back to Rico and Clarence about the money. Now, I have a child lives with me. I have full custody. When I can take my baby's mother to court and get child support, she don't have a job. So where the money coming from?
You don't get it.
No, that's a lie.
No,
that's a lie. Child support. That's a lie, Rico. Child support. Rico, listen, because Rico,
where you getting money from?
Rico, I called child support. I can get money. Just and she doesn't have a job. I can get money. You can also get it.
You getting money from who?
You get money.
Child
You're not getting no money, Von Eric.
You're not getting child support if they're not paying.
No. Listen, because y'all said the federal government does have nothing to do with that when it comes to that. And I'm saying
they have something to do with the enforcement. They do not.
Okay, but I'm telling you, you can get paid from child support, and the person doesn't have the job. I'm telling you
that is not true.
Let me tell you what else. Let me tell. Hold up. Let me tell you. Hold up. Let me
give me a receipt. That's untrue.
Okay, I will. And she would. And with my ex-girl, when she come up here, she would tell you. Also, if you on welfare, right? And
that's welfare.
Wait a minute. Hold up. When you on welfare in Maryland, right, and you getting snapped, and you still have to go because they tell you this in down welfare. You want cash assistance, you have to go to the child support. They will tell you, hold up. They will tell you right there that the parents don't need to have a job. Only thing that you need to do is go down and file, because they also, and this is the program that you're talking about from the Clinton. Do you have to go on there, you get cash, but you have to go through a work program. This is all federal funded. So please, y'all, that's why I keep telling y'all, bring up the receipt, because y'all didn't bring it up. Y'all did not bring up one receipt that says that, the federal government do not put income in child support. Y'all didn't
haven't brought up one receipt that says they do either. But let me explain to you exactly what you're saying, and let me explain to you where you're getting it wrong. If you apply for welfare, which is temporary assistance to needy family in probably all states, you must then, in order for you to get welfare, it's called the Personal Responsibility and Work Act of 1996, signed by Newt Gingrich and Bill Clinton, which is welfare reform. Prior to that, welfare was unlimited. They put caps on it. They did put work requirements in it. And they also told women or mothers who were requesting welfare to identify a father who they then could go after to recoup the money that they're giving her. So what the federal government gives her when she does that is welfare, not child support. When they find the guy, whether he has a job or not, they continue to give her welfare, but now they're putting pressure on that man to go out and find a job to pay his child support and to reimburse the government. If now every woman is not on welfare. So if you are a woman who gets a child support order, you can still go to child support enforcement, and they will go out and look for the father to enforce the money. If they find him and he doesn't pay, you don't get paid until he starts paying. The only women who get money are those who are receiving TANF from a non-working person. If the father doesn't pay, the mother doesn't get a check, especially if, say, she has a job and she doesn't qualify for welfare. Why would they give her money? And she's got a job making $60,000. Who's going to give her a check and she's making $70,000 a year, but she still has a child support order? Who's going to give her a check? Why is the federal government going to give you money and you make $80,000 a year because you got a child support order? That makes no sense, Von Eric.
I'm talking about the people that does
May
not.
I say
Those
something,
people are getting welfare.
May I say something, please.
Go ahead.
May I say something to the lady?
Okay. Hold on.
yeah.
Everybody. Hold on. This is what we're gonna do. Sister Annie's got to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let her say her little piece. Then we're gonna go to the soapbox, and then we're gonna go over to.
I want just to say something to the lady
wait, I
before
can
she
wait
goes.
till intellectual soapbox.
Okay.
Hey, intellectual soapbox.
Hey, sis. Hey, thank you.
Wait.
Listen.
Vagoda. Hold on. We're gonna go in this order because Sister Annie has to go. So we want to let her
What?
get
Well, I'm glad she let me go first, bro, Clarence, because there's something I have to say to her. So, sister Inye, listen. All right, I want you to reach out to me. I'm gonna leave my business number in a private chat. Okay, bro, Clarence, don't beat me up for trying to for trying to do some business here on YouTube.
You better not be shooting your shot either. It better be nothing but business. It better be strictly business. It better be strictly business.
Hey, but that's okay. I'm going over to Nodge relationships and start scheming off the people over there. Now I'm just. Go ahead.
But yeah, Sister Inye, look in the private chat. I left my business number. Please reach out to me whenever you can. Okay.
Let us know if you get out of pocket, Sister Annie.
Nah. Everybody knows that
I know you're a gentleman. I know you're a gentleman. We raised you right. Me and Clarence raised you right.
Yeah, y'all did. Y'all did a great job.
Yeah. But I see where he's going, Rico. She's a talent. She's still very talented.
I don't blame him.
I see where he's going with that. All right. But no, I'm just talking about business wise. She's very talented.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him
at
either.
all.
All right. That okay. Can I pass the mic to Vagoda?
Or anybody can go next. Yeah, that's all I had to say.
Okay, because
Sister
Annie. Okay, go ahead, Vagoda, and then we'll.
Okay, I just want to say something that I forgot to say to the lady about the money. Look, the money is in the end of the day for the child. So if the woman, wants to make her things for herself, then still the money is for the child. So she should do it in her own money. So that's why she gets the money for, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're correct. But you know what? If the non-custodial parent for 2 or 3 months paid nothing, then she had to make do in those 2 or 3 months.
Then she calls the police.
In that third month, if she wants to get her hair done with the check that comes in, I have no qualms with that.
Thank you.
Still, that's for the child. And may I ask another question? Do you have children?
I don't discuss my personal stuff on.
Okay, I don't have. If somebody's going to ask.
Okay.
I do.
I do too.
All right, Sister Annie, you have any other? Because I know you got to go. We're gonna meet you over there to deal with Patrice. But you have any last words before you go?
No, I just say this conversation is definitely needed. I appreciate your position on it. I appreciate who you bring up on the panel. You just have you are a magnet for very amazing men and women. So I applaud you for your discernment and who you bring up. I think that if we drive more towards figuring out actual solutions, and Von Eric, I definitely applaud that going to the NAACP, because you want to utilize those organizations that say that they're for the people will actually show us that you are for the people. I actually strongly think that we as individuals need to figure out what we can do individually to help push this forward, because it really is about the children. So I thank each one of y'all, and thank you for letting me come on the panel. Brother Clarence, this one's going to be
Sister Annie, can I ask you a question before you go, Sister Annie?
It was nice to hear you, my dear.
Annie,
we
can I
love
ask you a
you.
question
We
before
love
you
you.
go?
Appreciate you so much for
I
even
just want
coming
to
up.
ask you a quick question because I know you're an avid follower. Do you feel like at least in this stream and going forward, we're trying to make sure that I'm trying to bring information. I'm trying to bring receipts. I'm trying to, and this is at least, I keep telling them, I'm like, we got to start having websites. We got to start showing research, because in a lot of other spaces, people just talking.
No, I think you did an amazing job today. And I know that I hear a lot where people say, show the receipts, and it almost makes what information you're trying to deliver it cheapens it. So what I'll say is that what you
Oh, I
did
got
today
that,
is
bro.
exactly what I appreciate, and that
Thank
is allowing me to do some research. Let me
Thank
see
you.
what you're talking about, because
Thank you.
when you hear a story, sometimes there's gaps. Like you know, when I would take statistics, depending on the sample size, depending on who it was that was, you know, performing that the statistics, your it could be skewed, like what the responses or the
There
results
you
are.
go.
So what
Yeah.
you want to do is you want to make sure that you try to fill in the gap. So when you have a strong opinion about something, are you making that strong opinion because you've assumed what that gap is? Because we can be biased. So I could see someone like in the same scenario, Mr. V, he's saying that he, if this, you know, custodial parent, I'm just going to say mother because I was talking about hair, but if he found out that the mother in the third month of a father having arrears, that he would you know, take issue with the mother because she got her hair done. That's his opinion, and that's fine. My opinion is I applaud her because
I'm not going to take, excuse me, but I'm not going to be, it's not a problem that she does her hair. It's a problem, in my view, if she does it with the money that I gave her.
I was clear about what you said, but I'm saying I'm agreeing with you that she took the money in the third month of the money that came from the child support payment. But for those 2 or 3 months that the father did not give any money, that money she was having to figure out where to make that money come from to feed the child. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to change your position on it. I'm just saying that people have a right to whatever that gap is, that they have an opinion about it. But at least when you fill in that gap, now you have that option. So that's all I would say.
Okay, before you go, Kenya, before you go, I would like to read this, and then I will put it in the chat, in the private chat. Okay. State and local child support agencies receive funding to operate their programs. This funding comes from state and local government and the federal government. The child support program is federal matching grants program under which the state and local government must spend money in order to receive federal funding.
So let me ask you this, Von Eric. If you know, sometimes when you do something and you receive an incentive for how many, you know, so like I say, if you work at a department store, let's say you know, selling furniture. If you sell a certain amount of furniture, then you get an incentive because you sold that furniture. Or if you're a police officer or a trooper, if you know, maybe give a certain number of tickets there, and there's an incentive for, you know, you having those tickets. And that I'm not totally sure on. Is that person wrong for getting an incentive because they demonstrated that they were able to actually sell more furniture that month?
No, I'm trying to see where you're going with, because
so what, and
I
I'm
wasn't
just trying to
making
think
an
that I'm
argument.
trying to figure out the point that you were just bringing up. So
No,
are you saying that the federal government should not at some point maybe?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
I'm just proving the point that they said that child support is not federal funding.
You didn't prove a point. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. Let me. You
me
didn't prove a point.
I
Okay,
won't
because all
tell
you
you what
said
you
is
just
that
read,
they are supporting the
running
administrative
the
portion of it.
program.
They are not.
They're not paying child support.
If
They're
child
running
support,
the
if
program.
the federal government was paying child support, you wouldn't need to go after the non-custodial parent.
Thank you.
They just
go by they go by the, listen, what they doing is they fund it, but they go after
program.
Hold up. It's no, wait a minute. It's no program. The program, they still give they still give the money to the parents. You didn't even. But hold up. Let me answer Clarence. Let me answer Clarence's question.
Okay.
Clarence's question is, why would they do that if they pay it? No, the federal government is paying it, but they go after the people to get their money back. That's what the Republicans.
He's right. But we agree with you, Von Eric, that the federal government is going to give money and benefits, just not through child support. That is not. I'm giving it to. Listen. Okay. Listen. They have programs that's going to intertwine with child support. For example, if you need X amount and you only getting this amount, you may be able to apply for benefits to take up to supplement the gap, right? You got SNAP and all these other. You got other pro-government programs that they may intertwine with child support, but child support is a separate entity. It's going to be, you're going to get the money that the person. That's money that, yes, there's going to be benefits you can get from the federal government, but child support is its own entity. You have the person that's paying the child support is going to be the one that's giving you the money.
That's the problem.
Wait a minute, Ron Eric, you got to be reasonable. If child support was, if you could just go to, if the federal government just was going to pay everybody's child support, nobody would pay it. So obviously, the federal government is not paying child support in the terms of which you're trying to assert. I admit they have programs that intersect, but they don't have. They're not paying the child support.
No, they have programs.
Von Erich is right. He's right. Von Erich is right. I hate to say it.
He's right about what?
He's right that it's a unit. It's like a deal. It's like an undercover deal with the government.
The federal government.
Rico, you don't never let nobody finish.
Okay,
you don't let nobody finish.
Okay, sorry, apologies. Go ahead.
So it's a deal with the government and child support, right? So the government said, okay, we a team. So we gonna fund you, right? But we gonna want that money back with a certain amount of interest. They're working intertwined. They're intertwined, just like any other business.
If the person don't pay the child support,
of course,
there's new growth. If the person don't pay the child support, there's benefits that they get that they'll siphon off from the federal government. I admit that.
No, the government
not child support.
Yes,
they're not paying child support. They're not paying the person's child. They're not paying. And let's just do this. You guys, bring us a case and show us where the federal government is paying somebody's child support.
Please. See, y'all looking you're looking at it from the what do y'all say, micro level?
Hey, wait, do you mind if I ask this question? Okay, just because I want to make sure I understand, and trust me, I you can talk to me like a third grader. I'm not insulted. Okay, so am I understanding that what you're saying is that the federal government will help the custodial parent that has the child financially through different programs, whether it's TANF, food stamps, they help them. So there's an incentive for them to do that, because what they have done is made some agreement where they say that because we've done this for you, then you have to give us back with interest. My question then is, why is that necessarily a bad thing? And the example that I gave on Eric, if I sell a lot of furniture in a store and I get incentives, I get incentives because I'm selling more than someone else. Is it wrong that I get a bonus? So because it's the federal government, maybe it feels like, oh, I don't want them to get the that bonus. But is that necessarily a really bad thing?
Yes, you know what? I'm gonna tell you why it's a bad thing. Just like we have the student loan crisis right now. The government was incentivized to give these places this money, like the housing crisis market, where they were incentivized to give these banks this money and finance it, and it left the American people with high levels of debt. So it was a deal with the devil, basically. They said this right here says child support accrue interest rates of up to 12%. Right. And you're not allowed to discharge them in bankruptcy. That means that the federal government is backing it. So if the federal government, they said one study found that 70% of debt in California's child support system was owed to the government to pay back.
Is that nationwide? Is that nationwide?
See, you're not listening. You're not listening to learn. You listening to dispute. I'm reading. How you gonna ask me a question in the middle of reading, brother?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead. We already went over this shit. I'm trying to save you from an embarrassing moment.
Well, you should have just told me that.
Maryland don't charge any interest. DC charges no interest.
Okay,
state by state. Okay, is what I'm trying to tell you.
But regardless if it's state by state, if the majority of states implement this, it's a problem. Okay, once every state didn't have slavery, Rico.
I didn't say about
Damn.
How did you get to slavery? For God's
Everybody,
sake?
It's an analogy, brother. You gotta be black to understand that analogy.
Who on the panel
Dude,
has
I'm talking
ever
about
paid?
slavery. That's I must
You
say.
gotta be black to understand that analogy.
One question. Who on the panel has ever paid or received child support? Raise your hand.
You're not going to see our hands anyway.
I've done both. No, I've done both.
Right.
I paid and I received. And
Right.
I'm
Then
here
hands
to
up.
tell you from my experience factually in the state of Georgia,
Thank you, Wally.
in the
That's what
state
that's
of
what I'm about to do
Maryland,
right now.
and in DC. If I didn't pay, they didn't receive. If they didn't pay, I didn't receive. The federal government didn't give me shit, and the federal government didn't give my daughter shit until they snatched my taxes.
This is what it says.
That's
Hold on,
all
let me
I'm
say.
saying.
Let me
So
just
y'all
no,
can keep
let me
twisting it any way you want.
I'm gonna give you one example because you want to use anecdotal.
No, that's not anecdotal.
Listen, no,
Okay,
listen,
okay.
listen to
Make
what
it
I'm
quick.
saying.
Make it quick, new growth, because I'm
it's-
gonna shut the stream
real
down. We gotta
quick.
go over there to
This
Patrice.
quick. It
So
said
shut it down.
in most states, families with child support awards are not allowed to receive full child support payments while receiving TAFN assistance. That
Oh,
says
God.
no. Let's say it says
Okay.
most, so that means the majority.
Do you know what TANF is?
What is it?
Welfare.
Yes, but it's funded through it's the
Yes,
connected
welfare
welfare
is
part
funded.
is.
My God.
I'm going. But
Right,
they,
they
but I
got-
just
Okay,
read
look,
to
guys,
you that they give it to the
guys, everybody. We got to do a part 2. We got to shut the stream down because we got to go over there and support Patrice. Everybody, family.
Where is the link
gotta
to
come
that?
back. Huh?
Where is the link to that?
Oh yeah, drop that
Vaughn,
link.
Yeah,
put knowledge and
please
relationships
drop the
link up
link
here.
in the comments.
Can you put knowledge and relationships
Vaughn
up
put
there?
it in the chat, I think.
Oh, Vaughn
No,
put it
that
in the
was
chat
the-
Not
already?
in the
I think-
private chat. Put it in the
Nah,
comments. I'm just
No,
I'm using
it's
my
in,
phone, so
it's in the regular chat, Vagoda. It's in the regular chat.
you can
Okay.
put it again, please.
Okay, Vaughn, if you get a minute, man, if you're still here, can you put it in the chat? If not, I will put it in the chat for you, Vagoda. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you very much.
but we have to shut the stream down. I got to give
Everybody
everybody
got 30 seconds for closing thoughts.
30 seconds. You got to wrap it up real quick, and we'll do a part 2. Promise you guys.
I go first. I was right. Y'all was wrong. See you on part 2.
Oh boy.
I appreciate. I appreciate being up on the panel. I'm bringing.
Of course,
I'm
always.
bringing my ex up here because I told her about it. She said she will
Okay.
come. So I'm gonna bring her up here, and then I'm gonna bring a Negro. Bring that receipt that you have, and I'm gonna bring mine.
Right.
And let these people know it's federal funding.
All y'all got to show us is that the federal
Because
government
they
is
didn't
paying
bring-
child support.
You
That's all y'all
notice-
got to show us. Show us a
You
case
notice
where
they didn't bring it up.
they
You
paying
notice. You notice they didn't bring nothing up to say it's not funded. But they want it. But we've been bringing
I can
stuff
bring it up
to
right
say-
now. It says all the only thing they do is make sure that it gets paid. They enforce it. They don't pay it. They
But
enforce it.
you didn't bring enough.
But that's like student loans and Fannie Mae, brother Clarence. You know, but they're backed by the government.
you go.
They work as one.
There you go.
I mean,
It's
you being
backed by the
semantic, you
government,
pulling
right?
semantics.
Those loans are no. It's not semantics, brother. It's not semantics because
It's
this man
definitely
is saying.
semantics.
Wait a minute. This man is saying that the federal government is paying child support.
But listen,
That's what he said.
My last
So we're
30
saying,
seconds.
okay, if that's the
I
case,
wish that was true.
Anyway, look, I'm not gonna
My
get
last-
into it, y'all.
okay,
We
my
gotta
last
go.
30 seconds.
Family. We got
All
to
right.
go. We gotta support our sister, man. It's her maiden voyage. We gotta support her. Everybody
We
gets
there.
30 seconds. We'll meet back here. Probably do it. Let's do it Thursday if you guys have a chance. If not, we'll do it on next Sunday when we make sure everybody will be here.
Okay,
All right,
if,
y'all. 30
if I
seconds.
may
Come on,
ask,
new growth. But you know what?
Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Yes,
You've
if
been
I
quiet
may
a long
ask,
time. We'll go to you. Got 30 seconds, man.
yeah, if I may ask, when you do that, do a timer before you do it so I can see. Okay?
Let me see if I got a time.
You didn't waste 58 seconds, bro.
It's we have different hours. I have different hours from
Same
you,
minutes
so
in Israel, right?
yeah, it's almost 1 in the morning. So
Okay. All right. Let me get a timer for you, man. You can be talking while I'm getting a timer.
Anyway, it was nice to see you guys, and nice to have the nice lady here.
Yes.
Have a wonderful evening.
All right,
Nice
man.
to meet you, bro.
Vagoda. Appreciate you, man. You know you're always welcome, man. Shout out to Vagoda. All right. Who else? Who's gonna go? I just got the timer and he gone. Okay. Let's go. New Growth and then Sister Annie. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, I got in here late. Much love, man. Love the conversation. We building. And the last thing I want to ask, leave a question out there. Name me a loan that is not able to bankrupt besides a government loan. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Peace out.
All right, brother. We'll get into it next time. All right. Thank you, brother. New Growth. Appreciate you, man. Pull you down. All right. Sis, my sister came up here, man. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you 2 days in a row, man.
Hey,
Soldier
keep
sister.
doing what you're doing, okay? You are needed in the community, in this space, and I appreciate for how you've helped me grow as a person. You just don't know. So I thank you.
Your support has done the same for me and is doing the same for me. Shout out to you. Appreciate
Have a
you.
good weekend.
Okay, I'll see you over there.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's my sister Annie. All right. So y'all, we got to do the rundown real quick, man. Everybody, y'all know we're doing the backpack fundraiser, the backpack fundraiser cash app or pledge. Cash goal $3,100. Cash rate so far $1,769. Thank you for everybody who contributed today. Brother Bolo at Bolo TV. Shout out to Brother Bolo and everybody else who contributed. If I didn't catch you today, I'm going to be going real fast because we got to get over there to support Patrice. Patrice is out there on knowledge and relationships. She's going to have her maiden voyage today. We want to support the sister. So we're going over to knowledge and relationships. Going over there and check out OG Patrice's, I don't know if she calls herself OG Patrice anymore, but that's my sister. I'm going to just call her Patrice. So going over to Patrice and going over there and check out Patrice's new show. We're going to go over there and support her in the chat. And if she wants us on the panel, we'll come up on the panel. But shout out to OG Patrice. Congratulations to her. All right. We got to get the rundown real quick. The chat is where it's at. The chat, most valuable people. Thank y'all keeping the chat nice and clean, squeaky clean. We don't have no riffraff jumping around up in there. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all did a great job as always. A strong performance. Very, very solid. Very, very solid. Very, very solid. All right. Thank you, New Growth. Yeah, man. Let me do that right now, man. Let me do that right now. Click on that right now. Appreciate you, man. All right, there we go. All right, let's see who we had up here today. Okay, we had who do you have? We have Von Erich. What do you think about Von Erich today? Man, strong performance, very strong. Von Erich is always strong. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, he kind of gets warmed up slow, but man, once he gets going, ouch. Holy smoke, man. Von Erich, man. Another guy I like to debate with, man. Very, very intelligent brother, man. But Von Erich, very, very solid today. He's gonna bring his ex, and then I guess him, me, and Rico gonna have it out. But shout out to Von Erich, man. Solid performance, very solid performance. What about Von Erich? What about Vagoda? What about Vagoda? All right. What about a Vagoda all the way from Tel Aviv, Israel, right? Shout out to Vagoda, man. Vagoda came in and, I thought he did a very strong job. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be on a panel, but it's another thing to be on a panel and then be trying to be on a panel and using a whole nother language. So shout out to Vagoda, man. Appreciate the brother, man, for coming up here. Shout out to Vagoda. Very, very strong performance. Very solid. What about Rico Young? Very solid performance from Rico Young, man. He always has these crazy hats, but very solid performance from Rico Young. What about Mr. Intellectual Soapbox? What about the Intellectual Soapbox? It's hard to catch the Intellectual Soapbox, man. He's doing all these business deals, right? And I can only be here for 1 second. Here's my spiel. Boom, I'm gone. Boom, I'm back. Boom, I'm gone. Boom, I'm back. Boom, I'm gone. Shout out to 84, man. He's doing them business deals, man. So shout out to that brother, man. He's busy, but very strong performance. I thought very solid. Shout out to Intellectual Soapbox. What about New Growth? New Growth came up here. Shout out to New Growth, man. always very solid. Always, young man is always very solid, very knowledgeable, very solid. And you know, the one good thing I like about my people over here, sometimes they agree with me and sometimes they don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this ain't no echo chamber. When they agree, they agree. When they don't, they don't. And so we got pushback from Von Erich. We got pushback from New Growth. And me and Rico, man, we love it, man. We be back in the background talking about saying, man, wasn't that a great show, man? You know, those cats pushed us back, man. That was great. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to New Growth, man. Okay, y'all, we got to get out of here. Last but not least, very solid performance, by the way, by New Growth, as always, by everybody. It's always a solid performance. And last but not least, my sister Annie came up on the again 2 days in a row, man. Double dipping, man. 2 days in a row, Sister Annie came up and blessed us, man. Shout out to Sister Annie, man. Came up here and you know, man, it's like I tell everybody, she get loose. Everybody, once you get comfortable up here and you get loose, you can get loose. You can talk because you know you're just talking to your family and you can get loose. But shout out to Sister Annie, came in strong again, man. Strong again, very strong. I asked her to come up. She said, I thought she was gonna say, well, I'm not gonna, you know, I did yesterday, but Sister Annie said, shoot, I'll come up there. Double dipping, man. Double header for Sister Annie, man. Shout out to her, man. Very, very strong performance. Very, very solid. Very, very solid. All right, y'all. We got to get out of here because our sister is over there. Man, she needs our help. Everybody, all of you guys right now in the chat and in the bushes, go over to Knowledge and Relationships right now. We got to support our sister, man. And go over there and support her right now. I'm on my way over there as soon as I shut this down, man. Shout out to y'all. I'll see y'all again on Tuesday, man. All right, peace. Thank you, everybody, again for your generous donations, by the way.